breadsticks,
I'm not going to say it's an ambush, but I think that's a low blow. And I think you know what you're doing, and that's fine. You're a tabloid journalist. I expected that. I don't think it's an ambush because I knew it would be like this. And people will see what you're doing, and I think they'll say it's low. But as far as you want to talk about racism,
I do.
Let's talk about racism. Let's leave my dad out of it.
Look, you've admitted you're a racist, correct?
Yes, 100%. Okay. Own it.
Okay, that's fine. You're perfectly entitled in a free democratic society to stare down the barrel of his camera and tell me you're a racist. People can judge you accordingly. Many people who have assumed that you're racist will now have heard it from your own lips. That's fine.
There you go.
That's
the problem is he also said everyone's a little bit racist. And so like taking that into effect, I mean, I think Nick is probably more racist than the average person, to be clear. But I feel like Pierce is also taking this a bad faith way because I think, yes, I really think to deny that, like to be like, oh no, I have absolutely no conceivable bias. I pass all the implicit bias tests, you know? I'll be honest, you ever do those implicit bias tests? I fucking fail the shit out of those. You know, I don't think I'm like super racist, but I do terrible on those tests.
There's a control. There's a control. You can tell if people are like really not racist, which they almost never are. Okay, especially for it's fun to do with liberals and like progressives. You start talking about the Indians, dude. Just maybe make a little mention something here, a little dude. Immediately, anybody will just go off about Indians. It doesn't matter if they're left, right, or center. It doesn't matter. I think that's funny.
So really, it's a bipartisan thing that can really bring us together, you know.
Indians are at the bottom right now.
Like, hey guys,
their PR game is bad.
Hey guys, have you heard about this poop festival? And they're like, "What are you talking about?" Just send them down.
The point of this interview is to go over the things you've said, which have led people to reach conclusions about you, and to ascertain whether those conclusions are fair and reasonable or not. That's it. So I want to play you another clip. This is what you talk about why white people are justified in being racist. Let's take a listen to this.
Let's hear another clip.
I hope he's screaming.
White people are every single bit justified in being racist. Every single bit justified, to the extent that that means going out of your way to avoid black people when you see them.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with
that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
This is like, what the fuck?
People should go out of their way to avoid black people when they see them.
Absolutely. They would be wise.
Why?
Because it's a lose-lose proposition. If you're Irina Zarutska,
see, this is where I want to pull up the chat. I think it was Quippy that said, it depends if it was the Supreme Court justice or if it's Tupac, right? Like, I think that's a judgment I would make. If it's like, if I, you know, not to bring up Monty again, but if I see Monty, he looks like a good guy, right? Like, so I wouldn't avoid him. But if I see someone whose pants are down, but you know, very low, and you know, it's like they're acting all, then it's like, yeah, but you know, I would do the same thing with a lot of races, including my own race. You know, it's like you're gonna make judgment calls, you know. And I would make it equally with every race because I'm not racist at all in any conceivable way. To be
walk the other way, clear. You get stabbed to death and you die. If you're somebody else and you walk on the subway and you stand near a black person or something, maybe it's fine. It's a lose-lose proposition. So no, I think that white people have been beaten into submission, that we're afraid to tell the truth about it. And the truth is that when you go into these major cities like New York or Chicago, I believe she was in North Carolina, there is a menace, which is young, black, adolescent men. They're extremely violent. And we have been told that we have to pretend like they are every other person. We have to be colorblind to that. And we're supposed to go and be in the midst of all this danger. And I think that at this point, it's gotten out of control. You look at the BLM movement, they said that the reason that black people, are violent, or the reason there's crime, is because of police brutality, or redlining, or all these other things. They said we need to get rid of the police. We need to defund them. And a lot of cities did. A lot of cities like Chicago, for example, the police changed the rules of engagement. They don't chase them. It's not a felony if you steal a certain amount of merchandise. They won't chase them on foot. And now the city's totally up for grabs. And now whether you're in the Gold Coast or whether you're on the Mag Mile or you're in the worst neighborhoods in the city, You might get shot, you might get mugged, someone might run up on you. And I tell my followers, it is better to be perceived as racist or racist and walk the other way and maybe keep your life than to say, I'm a good anti-racist. I don't mind that this person's making me uncomfortable. Maybe he's looking a little froggy. I'm going to sit down because I'm a good person and get stabbed, mugged, whatever. And by the way, this is a strategy. They call it the friendly stranger. There's a crew of them. They do this in Chicago. They stand outside bars, black people. They approach strangers. It's a robbery crew. And they pretend to be a friendly stranger, and then they mug them. And stupid white people say, oh, hi, yeah, nice to meet you. You know, they grin.
I have been a victim to this. You know, probably not the six. Literally. Because if someone approaches me and they're like acting nice, I've fallen for that multiple times.
That's the Canadian.
Yeah,
see
I
what
think it might be the
being
Canadian in me.
See where that got you?
Yeah. I'd be embarrassed to say how many times I've been, swindled or mugged or whatever.
That's a nice knife, eh?
Hey, it's a nice looking.
If someone approaches me with niceness, I'm like, oh, it's one of the good ones. I mean, it's like, okay, it's good. Everything's fine. And then
we're sighting over here.
It's like, sure, I'll get in the van.
yeah,
Sure.
like $100, $200 in the hole. And, okay, I'm sorry. Big Soda, you're in charge. Look, I've got a long time. Okay. Conflict has to take a pee. Okay.
I mean, it has been 2 hours. It has been 2 hours.
That's a fucking record for me.
That
okay,
is.
brother.
Sorry, he's got a small bladder, guys. You got to work with him.
It's average. It's average. Okay. It's average.
His doctor did not say that.
I got a question for everybody on the panel. So I was raised to be a white supremacist racist, right? So from my upbringing, and I was curious if any of y'all had a similar upbringing where you were raised to be bigoted against other races.
No. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm a lot younger than that. Like,
Yeah.
What does age do with it?
The Civil War was already over by the time
I had to
I was
find this
born.
shit out on my own. Okay.
No.
Yeah, can't say I was raised that way. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
But did you
Now, have y'all
ever have
ever
any
known
like
someone-
grandmas or anything like that? Like I watched the Hodge twins, and I know they've talked about it, and I have other personal friends who have said similar things about their parents that said that like their parents basically raised them and told them that like, oh, Democrats or Republicans want to like hang you, and white people want to do this and that and the third to you, and blah blah blah. Like they would say shit like that.
I was told that the Civil War was caused because the North sent the blacks down south because they were too dumb to work in factories, and we found a good use for them, and then the North was jealous.
That's not even a good. That's such bad. Like, dude, there are people who
think
can actually
the real
defend
thing I
the
was
like, the Civil War from the Confederate side, and that is probably the worst.
I was going to say, economically, the North was doing so much better than the South.
Yeah.
The South was just like, no, but this is our ways.
Like
We like this.
Is a thought disorder from my perspective, right? Now, racism is not, but bigoted racism is.
Yeah, if you go out of your way to like, and like I was saying earlier, like I may have a preference for like certain things when it comes to race, but ultimately it's like, I still am mostly meritocratic or whatever. Like I believe in like a meritocracy for the most part. Like if I want the best people for the job, in that regard, so it doesn't really matter to me.
Well, this statement's going to sound extremely wild when I first say it, but I'm going to give some context after I say it. I'm very proud of the Civil War, and the reason why is because we had such a societal issue or a cultural issue, and we felt so ingrained that we were willing to go to war with ourselves to fix that problem. And we didn't fix it perfectly, but I do like the fact that, yeah.
Okay, some housekeeping. Bedpost IRL. suck my Canadian cock, okay? And Maryland,
Dude,
adding some sweet to my spice. Maryland in the chat, always here at a
You know
good
what's
time.
crazy though? Is
Maryland.
just having one concurrent viewer already puts you in like the like 80th percentile or something like that, or the 90th percentile. So
Yeah, hey,
Yeah.
well,
better
hey,
than when
dude.
I used to stream and would have 0 people watching. So I mean,
True.
12 is infinite more than that. So
I mean, to be
12
fair,
times more than that.
half the people are on panel. Half the
yeah,
viewers.
that's true.
Yeah.
We need to get
that's
all.
true.
We're at 17 between the two. If we can get everyone on panel, okay, that's the goal. Then we could all be so small. Think of how small all of your videos
Yeah,
could be.
this could be smaller. We could be smaller.
Boo.
We could get smaller. It's possible.
And they laugh, they put up with the nonsense, and then they get mugged,
Just
or
about.
worse. Sometimes they get executed. And
Out
so
of
as a white
interest,
person,
how do you feel about
Oh
mass
my
shootings at school?
How do you think
I
he
think they're
feels?
bad.
What a
Who do you
fucking
think commits
dumb
the
question.
vast majority of the mass shootings?
I'm sure
at
it's white
schools?
people.
Right. So how do you feel about that?
I think that white people do more antisocial violence. I think black people participate in more gang violence. I think that's the difference.
What's the difference to the victims?
God.
There's no difference to the victim, but it's a different kind of crime, and it's a
What's the
different
difference to the
proportion also. Do you
victims?
know what percentage of white people are school shooters?
I know that the vast majority of mass shootings in schools in America this century were perpetrated by young white men.
Yes.
And I'm
And
just,
what proportion of
and Nick
I'm
agreed to
proportion-
that.
I'm
Yeah, they were raised
curious.
in a culture where they
I'm
were
curious.
proportion?
I'm curious whether your advice would be to people who have kids in
Wait, is
these
my
schools.
mic working?
Should they?
What proportion?
Should they avoid? Should they avoid white people at school? Should people?
Nick
with
is
kids at
cooking.
school
I
avoid
hate to admit it, but
young
Nick is
white men
cooking.
at school?
No.
Okay.
Do you know what per capita means? Do you know proportionality? There are more black people proportionally that engage in violent crime or are involved in gangs, especially in these major cities, than there are white people that are school shooters compared to the entire white population. And everybody understands that.
Two-thirds of mass shootings at school perpetrated by white people.
But what proportion of white men commit school shootings? That's the question.
That is the
I've
question.
just told you.
That's, no,
School
that's
shootings
not.
by white
You're
people.
telling
I
me what
just told
proportion
you.
of school
I
shooters.
think Pierce is a secret groiper. This is like this is a Fuentes
He just-
puff
he
piece.
doesn't-
Holy shit!
He doesn't understand at
Like
all.
if
It's like, I
he
gave
just
you
went on and
numbers.
asked-
He's throwing, dude. Like
Pierce is just rage baiting.
He's it would be literally better for Pierce if you just asked him softball questions. This makes Nick look way better because Pierce is like trying to dunk on him and like continuously fucking missing just
Things
horrendously.
committed by white
Oh my
people.
God.
I'm saying what proportion of white people have committed school shootings. Are you playing dumb or are you just not that
What
smart?
difference does
What's
that
the
make
difference?
to the children lying dead on the ground?
Yeah.
What's the difference?
See, now you
he
want to
does it
jump on the
again,
victim.
like-
What's the difference to the kids
the
lying on the
difference to
ground?
the
Yeah,
kids crawling on the
emotionally.
ground?
Yeah.
And this is for everybody who's like, because there's a lot of people that are calling like Piers Morgan a conservative pundit. I think in where he's at, maybe he's considered a conservative. But dude, he is as progressive as they come. He is carrying water for progressives. Like he is a progressive. He's a liberal, and that becomes more obvious whenever they get further in and they start talking, especially when they start talking about women's rights. Like it gets bad, dude.
Pay attention. Pay attention to what Pierce Morgan does because he uses the same tactic where he appeals to the victims. He does this with gun rights. Every time there's a shooting or anything like that involved, he'll be like, "But what about the victims?" And he'll keep appealing to the victims, and it's kind of like a dishonest tactic to try and, I guess, frame that you are bad because of what you believe in.
No,
This
it's
is-
not dishonest.
Yeah, this is my other critique of like Nick is that I don't think he did so strong as like because there is some nukes to this argument. Like he could have engaged with it anyways and just been like, well, even if he doesn't give me the numbers here, the number that I want, the total deaths from all mass casualty events at like schools from like 1990 until now is like it's like 500. So it's not even close. We're not even talking about the same numbers at all. So even if you said, yeah, two-thirds of all the school shooters are committing are white, well, you're talking about white people killing, whatever 2/3 of 400 people is, or let's say, or 400 or 500 people. Let's say it's like on the higher end, 350 people or something like that, or even 400 people, and they're all killed by white people. But that's over the span from 1990 until today. So it's like, should we avoid white people at school? No, and he says this, I think, later, but he's like, but if you see an autistic kid with his fucking hood up, reaching into his backpack, like, then you should probably run. Or if you go to class with that kid every day, you probably should like bring him a Kit Kat or a fucking Snickers or some shit so he doesn't shoot you when it happens, man.
Well, it also paints a picture that I think Nick genuinely is a race realist, because he's willing to admit that, whites on proportion commit a lot of antisocial crimes, and it's like he's being honest with his interpretation of what
he
sees.
gave the concession, but Piers refuses to engage, and he really does pretend to be stupid, because he had a similar argument even with the black crime statistics. I think Andrew Wilson was actually on Piers Morgan maybe a week or two ago, making the same arguments to another panelist on Piers Morgan's show, and he completely let it go. Like, he was understanding, he was following per capita and everything, so he knows what he knows what this means. He knows what per capita is. He understands proportionality. He understands percentage differences like that. He's just being willfully ignorant here.
And that's why I find it particularly kind of gross, because the moral loading is definitely intentional. I can't see it any other way. Talking about but how do the kids on the dead kids on the floor feel? It's like, what you're being asked. You're asked about per capita. You're asked about proportionality. It's like, and now you're just trying to drag the emotional, and that just strikes me as a very gross thing to do. And I don't hate Pierce. I like watching Pierce with a lot of people, but I think this is gross.
It's not.
And okay, Fed, to briefly respond to Fed Post, he says, I should retire the stream. I'm hearing you now. I take back what I said. And so I guess you can unsuck my Canadian cock. Okay, I will take that back too. Okay, I'll take that back. It's not a rage bait title. It's not a rage bait. Just to be clear, I did not pre-watch this. So I just wrote the title going in blind. Okay, so I am in the moment right now.
It's rage bait now, dude. Leave it. Don't change it.
Yeah, now it's rage bait. But I didn't when I titled it. I just saw a couple clips. I wasn't sure where I was gonna go. So just to clear that up. But
to be fair, he's a Canadian conservative, so he's not quite as right as everybody.
Born in America. Born in America. Okay,
wait, born in America, dude. Come back. What are you doing?
Look, I'm wayward. I'm the prodigal son. Okay, the prodigal American
the prodigal son has to return, dude. Get back. Get out of there, dude.
He's trying. Okay, he's trying.
If he comes back, I'm deporting him. If he comes back, he's getting deported.
Disavow.
Yeah, you got to get out of there, dude. You got to be like Steven Crowder, dude. Just return.
He doesn't want to leave.
Brother.
Wait, was Steven Crowder born in Canada? Or was he born here? I don't know.
I think he's born in America.
Yeah, he was born in America, but he has dual citizenship.
Dual citizenship. He's got to renounce that, dude.
You can't.
He can't.
This is what I was explaining. Yeah, Canada does not allow you to. So America wants you to, but Canada, even if you say anything, there's no legal process you can to get rid of your Canadian citizenship.
That's actually weird.
Yeah.
Please don't go. We know we suck.
Will not disavow you. That is Canada's stance. It's a strange situation, yeah. Because America requires that you renounce other citizenship, but Canada so it's a weird, from America's point of view, Crowder is American. From Canada's point of view, he's Canadian.
They don't require that. I wish they did. As far as I know, they don't.
I'm pretty sure they do.
No.
Don't you have to renounce your other citizenship ties?
I wish that was the case.
Not officially.
No, we got dual citizens all up in this mug, dude. Look at our government officials, man. Look at the people who run, all the different groups. It's bad.
Well, I know I don't know. I mean, okay, so yeah, someone fact check me on this. Maybe I'm crazy.
You don't have to.
You are your wrong confluence.
You're Canadian, so it's okay. Let's move on.
That's all right. Yeah.
I'll play the video, but I'm gonna ask my good friend Grok, okay, who's completely unbiased.
Yeah.
And
Grok will never lie to you.
Grok will never mislead me or betray me. Okay, so
the difference is you're asking, would you fear white people or black people? And that's the difference. The difference is
what I'm saying to you is by your logic, if we now have agreed that the vast majority of mass shootings in schools are committed by white people and predominantly young white men, then presumably your advice would be to avoid young white men because they perpetrate these
because
atrocities.
Oxycat
But it won't
in the
be
chat.
because they're
Good
white.
to see you, Oxy.
Right?
So are you playing dumb or are you actually dumb?
Maybe
it's
I'm
about
dumb.
proportionality.
Maybe I'm dumb.
You are because you're, well, I don't think you are dumb. I think you're smart actually, but you're deliberately avoiding per capita. And everybody knows that's the difference. What proportion of white men are school shooters? It's probably 0.00001%. What proportion of black men have committed violent crimes? It's probably like 5%. I guess I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but it's very high.
Okay, Grok is telling me that I'm wrong, that you don't have to formally renounce it, but you have to renounce all allegiance and fidelity to every other country. So, okay, so I guess that, yeah, so you don't have to give up citizenship, but you have to renounce. I mean, if I'm trusting Grok, so I mean, let's take that with a grain of salt, but renounce all allegiance and fidelity. So, and I mean, hey, I've already done that, brother, with Canada. Okay. I mean, well, actually, no, actually, I don't know if that's illegal, what I said in Canada. So actually that was a joke.
Yeah.
In Minecraft.
Yeah,
in Minecraft.
now.
And I would add to that, even as it concerns schools, why do you think parents pay a super high property tax to live in a school district where there's white people? Because they know that if they go to the black school, it's going to be the Bloods and the Crips. It's going to be gangs. It's going to be, you talk about school shootings. Nobody talks about all the school shootings that are committed by gangbangers in and around the school and all the other violence that's associated with that. I mean, these schools in the south side of Chicago, it's just not.
I have an answer for you.
I wish he would have played the clip here of him talking about the gulags.
Carry out mass shootings.
Wait, which clip?
Like there's a clip of Nick where he talks about this stuff, like the situation in Chicago and other large cities, and he's like, you shouldn't have to fucking fight your way out of the gulag in the Call of Duty lobby just to make it to school. Like, like that. I wish he would have played one of those, dude.
Actually, the same. The black and white.
For white people, the proportion of the proportion. Again, are you hearing it? No.
So I think the trouble with your statistics is a lot of them don't bear much scrutiny. We have a bunch of fact checkers checking all this in real time because you do have a tendency to just come out with a lot of old baloney. And when you say, well, it's true. And when you're confronted with reality, you don't like it.
What's the figure? What proportion of white people have committed school shootings? With white people as the denominator and white people that have committed school shootings as the numerator, what's that percentage?
For both black and whites, the proportion of the population who carry out mass shootings, generally.
That's not the fucking question. Holy shit, that is not the question, Pierce.
Well, he would have to admit that school shootings are actually more rare. Like that's like there are some years that more children are deleted at school because of parents driving minivans over them. That causes more deaths of children than guns do. So, and Piers doesn't want to talk about that because he's an anti-defense person.
I don't know. This is what like American Nacho said, but like even if you like multiply the stats by like magnitudes, right? You still don't get to like what Nick is talking about like homicide rates. Like you could like take that number, whatever it was, 500-600, 1,000. You could make it 10,000. You could make it 100,000 probably if we're talking over like a 20-year span. It's like we're not in the same universe with these. And the fact that Pierce won't just fucking admit that and move on, like, oh my God. Like,
yeah, because this would be like a point, the number that he would get back would be like a 0.000001. It would be like insane.
Yeah.
Because he's looking for the number. Yeah, I mean, he just said it.
He said, yeah, he literally specified the numerator, the denominator. Like, there's no way to be more clear. There's no possible way to be clearer. And Pierce is still, that has to be willful. That just has to be.
No. Tell me the number, and then
yet, the only focus of your attention is the black shootings, the black crime. You don't want to live around black people. You want to avoid black people. You don't want interracial marriages or relationships that may produce black people. And yet, when I point out to you that there are many parts of crime in America where actually there's a majority of white people that perpetrate them, you don't care. You don't have any interest in that. It doesn't exercise your mind. Maybe because you don't. See,
no one's buying this. This
kids.
argument lost. No one is buying this. Everybody understands per capita, and people could even see what you race ahead and say, well, we're comparing the proportion of white and black school shooters. I said, no, compare the proportion of school shooters that are white versus violent criminals that are black, because that was the basis of the monologue, is that you're very likely, if you encounter black people or a young black man in the city, that you're going to be the victim of a violent crime, of a robbery, a mugging, a car theft, a carjacking, or a murder. That's the difference. And it's about proportionality. And everybody sees past that because we all live in reality. You want to talk about product of your environment. People that live in New York, Chicago, LA, we live in reality. We live in this environment and we see what it's like. And the threat, the danger in terms of probability it's not even comparable. And I would say this to your point. If you're in a high school and truly, if you see a white person who looks like a little autistic, he's got the SSRI stare and he reaches for a backpack, people joke and say, run. Similarly, if you see a jalopy pulling up with a bunch of black people in it and they got their pants around the ankles, you're going to run also. I'm saying the same thing. The difference is the latter happens much more often. It's much more common. You know, in Chicago, there's like 10,000 carjackings and car thefts every day. It's in the thousands. It happens all the time. How many mass shootings committed by autistic SSRI white people? I don't even know. I mean, it's probably in the single digits in the last decade in this city. That's the difference, and everybody knows that. But you're really just trying to carry water for liberal ideology. It's an ideological position.
No, I'm really not. I can absolutely say yes. There is way too much black on black crime, for example, involving guns in Chicago.
And black on white also.
Yes, but there is way too much gun violence in Chicago, right? I mean, it's
I did not go into this expecting to be so much on Fuentes' side, and I think that could change depending on if we get into certain issues. It depends on what Nick's about to say, but so far I'm like, oh my god.
See, the real problem is I want to get into stuff that I actually disagree with Nick on. Like, he believes in more of a strong centralized government. Or what about the Stalin comment? Or what about, I guess, the kink he has for, I guess, people that have power. Yeah, and stuff like that. It's like, let's get to the real stuff. We're still talking the pseudo-racism stuff. And it's just like,
What's wrong with admiring Stalin?
True.
No, it's not so much the admiration of Stalin. It's more so he doesn't condone the tactics, but there's a certain fixation for the power element of it.
Stalin wasn't any worse than the U.S. presidents have been for the past 75 years.
Absolutely, I disavow that.
No, I was going to say absolutely, because the damage they did to themselves, that's a key indicator that, hey, yeah, you're a bad leader.
I wouldn't go that
the same
far,
way
but
America.
I think it doesn't matter though, because I agree with the way Nick views it is, or at least my understanding. I'm not in the guy's head. I've just seen clips of him explaining that. I agree. Like Stalin, Hitler, Caesar, all these guys from antiquity, all the ancient kings, they're all fascinating individuals, and we all can study them and read about them. But it's like it's off limits if it's Stalin and Hitler. We can read about all these other crazy people who like strung people up, and we can read about and be fascinated with the queen who cut off everybody's heads and put them on pikes on the Brit, and Genghis Khan. Yeah, we can talk about Genghis Khan all day. He could make the comment easily and say something about admiring Genghis Khan, and nobody would really bat an eye. But you say it about Stalin, about Hitler, and it's a problem. And it's like, well, dude, he's not saying he condones every action they did. He's just saying like these are fascinating individuals that should be kind of like studied. They're notorious characters in history. That's it.
Okay, but Nacho, I feel like you're saying. You're using two different words that at least hit my ear differently. Like fascination, I am fascinated by the mustache man and Stalin, but I wouldn't say I admire Stalin. Like I don't know. like maybe that's just the way I'm hearing it, but like that's where I think Nick goes in a way that I'm like, I don't know, what do you mean by that? Like I wouldn't say I admire Stalin. I'm fascinated by him, sure.
Yeah, I don't know if he said that or not. I don't think he has, but
On Tucker, he said it. He said I admire Stalin after the birthday comment. But he didn't get a chance to explain it, so it's kind of I understand
kind of
the
moved
problem
on.
with
So
him.
if he just means
could have just been a
maybe it's a
joke
semantic thing. I'm not sure because the fascination thing, I completely agree with everything you said, Nacho. Like
that's what I've heard.
We shouldn't be afraid to be fascinated by these people.
I mean, it's like we can study this stuff. It is true that because somebody sent me the clip of him explaining that because I was curious about the Stalin thing too, and he was basically just saying that he was like. He turned a country that was like nothing, like dirt and farmers and nothing, into a world superpower by the end of his, term or whatever. By the end of whenever his reign came to an end, the Russia is now a global superpower. Now his methods obviously are terrible, but it is, fascinating. It is interesting to see a country like that go from nothing to being, top 3. So that's it.
I also think he has a tactic with it. So like he'll say a provocative statement, and he wants you to be like, oh, well, what do you mean by that? So that way he can go into a deep explanation of what he does mean. But if you cut him off at a provocative statement, then it just sounds like, oh, he admires Stalin. But in reality, he likes the fact that a single man and his policies were able to, bring a nation from simple farmers and like a decentralized government and a monarchy. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that those contradict each other, but kind of a monarchy and people spread out to a superpower that had nuclear weapons who was, challenging America.
So the things that Stalin did individually to modernize Russia are attributed to Stalin only because he was the man in charge because of the form of government that was there, right? It's much different than the things that the United States did that was equally evil to basically become a large power itself, right? Because the United States diffuses its decision making amongst a large number of people who are temporary stewards of the government, right? And so Stalin's interesting because he had the ability to do it by himself. He was a great man, and it's worth admiration.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that, but
I wouldn't agree with that.
You can take that position.
Yeah, I wouldn't agree. Carnage says all Americans this uneducated. I mean, we accept dissenters. So
how uneducated. Give us your best peers impersonation and just crash out over nothing and don't actually have anything substantive to say.
Yeah, just start
I don't know. I don't know what country you live in as well. But,
Hey, is this another foreigner? See what I mean? This is another foreigner coming in to comment on our shit.
Like,
dude, look, Nick is our guy. It doesn't matter if we hate him or if we love him. He's our guy. Okay, fuck you. You're not allowed to criticize him. Okay,
that's the
criticize him. He's our retard. Okay, you deal with your own shit over there.
Pierce is not our guy, and Confluence isn't our guy.
Confluence is your guy, but Carnage, you're welcome to tell us how we're all retarded.
Are you though?
You are more than welcome.
Our guy, Confluence? Are you?
I am your guy. America first, baby. Okay.
It's beautiful. I've got no problem saying that. The difference is I don't then lead myself into a thought process where I have to avoid all black people in case they shoot me. And you've already conceded that you are a racist. So when people hear you then say, I don't want to be living anywhere near black people, they already have heard you say, I'm a racist. So they assume you're doing that because of people's skin color. I don't think you would probably dispute that, right?
That's an interesting statement from Bill.
You're separating two different things.
Because if you want to talk about legacy media and uneducated people, I mean, old people are very uneducated when it comes to worldly affairs.
Yeah, the boomers have no idea what's going on.
Yeah,
I feel like all the generations are are uneducated in like different ways.
We literally have a massive AI bubble right now because the boomers that are in government are too retarded to know what the hell AI even is or what's going on. You have
don't
six
take my
companies.
Nvidia stock.
Oh,
They
they probably
companies.
know. They
Nvidia
know
to the
the
moon.
Circle
have to
jerking
go
each
on.
other
Come
off. You have
on.
like 6 companies feeding each other, all government contracts and shit. Like none of them know what the fuck they're doing. They're all just winging it. They're flying by the seat of their pants.
I
It's
have an
all gonna come
anecdotal
crashing
statement.
down because dumb boomers can't actually figure out what the fuck is going on. So,
Every time they use the word AI, my grandfather calls him ow, and every time he references anything to do with like the word AI, he just calls it a person like ow. And be like, "Oh, I see Fox News is talking about owl again." I'd be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And it took me a year to figure out that he was talking about AI.
I just checked Nvidia. Nvidia lost 3% of their stock today. 3% today. Oh my god. Oh my god. Terrible times.
the whole thing is a mess, dude. They're all cooked.
That's insane. That's insane. I think the bubble is bursting. I think it is. That's not
the monologue
not
when I said I don't want to live around black people. That was after Irina Zarutska got shot, and it's true. I mean, they are a largely in this city in Chicago, the South Side, the West Side, huge criminal population, and I don't want to live anywhere near it. And I do. I want to live in a white neighborhood. I think that that's extremely desirable, and I think even black people.
Again, Nick, you're perfectly entitled to that view. But when you have obviously prefaced all this by saying I am a racist, unashamedly, then people will assume that all your thought processes about all of these issues are driven by an aversion to people based on their skin color, which is the purest personification of racism.
Well, it's not an aversion. I would say it's the opposite. I like my own people. My own people are familiar to me, and I think that's true across the board. I think that people seek out other people that are like themselves, and every other group does this, whether it's blacks, Hispanics, Asians. You know, I get a lot of attacks when I talk about that I'm against interracial marriage. And what's funny is that every other group is against interracial or interethnic marriage. Jews,
but you're the
Chinese,
you're the product of an interracial marriage.
Then he cuts him off.
Yeah, I mean, that's debatable.
Not
Let's
really.
say for the sake of
Not
argument,
really.
sure.
No, you're the product of an interracial marriage, and your father is part Mexican. You're literally,
for the sake of argument,
the very person you've just told me you want to avoid.
What race is Hispanic? Is that a race?
What do you think it is?
I'm asking you, what race is Hispanic?
Hispanic, of course it's a race. It's called Hispanic.
No, it's not.
It's a mix between two races. It's a mix between indigenous Americans
it's not white,
and
though,
Europeans.
is it? It's not white.
Well, you're more of a racial purist than me. You got like
not really. You just keep saying you only want to live in a white neighborhood, but you're literally from.
Pierce is doing like the one drop test right now. Jeez.
He doesn't even get it. He doesn't even know what's happening.
Yeah.
Pierce is like, don't turn this on me.
I'm not the racist. You're the
I
racist.
live Mexican blood.
I know, and I live in a non-white neighborhood too. I'm trying to get out of here, though. But I'm trying to get out. But here's the thing:
Do you have any non-white? Do you have any non-white friends? Genuine question.
Most of my friends are non-white. Most of my friends are not, and non-white people love my show.
How many are
black?
How many of your friends are black?
Many.
They do have black friends arguments wild.
That's what I'm saying. These, it's not even good arguments. It's like, when you see Charlie Kirk or you see Steven Crowder or you see these guys do these like college campus tours, this is the kind of shit these dumb kids say. Like they've never even thought about anything. You know, they're like ankle deep in politics. This is the kind of arguments they make.
Yeah. No, it's not great. And I would just like to say, I will apologize in advance, but I have a non-white friend. Okay, I just want to set a record. Okay, I do.
That's what I love that shit too, because it's like, dude, my sister is married to a black guy. My brother has a wife from Nigeria. It's like, so I love it when people, do that shit to me, because I'm like, oh yeah, man, let's go, man. You're like, no, we have tons. It's like you can have it's not like I was saying earlier. It's not like because you have an in-group preference, you now need to like eliminate all the other groups, or you need to banish, all the other groups. It's like, dude, these two things are compatible, actually.
It's weird because that's like usually like the meme that the left will use when people are like, I'm not like homophobic, I have a gay friend, right? I'm not racist. And now Pierce is asking, it's such a layup for Nick. Like, who the fuck doesn't have like a non-white friend? Like, what the fuck? Like, again, this feels like this is like Groiper agitprop. Like this from Pierce's point of view. Like,
wish for
you're just giving him goal.
I almost wish for like the sake of the meme, the troll, he would have been like played it up and like, like, I can't. I got this one guy, but I can't think of his name right now.
Yeah. Maybe Jamal.
Yeah. Jarek or something.
I have a dealer. Is he a friend?
Yeah. My Uber driver this morning.
Of them, like at least a dozen.
Wow.
Yay being one who you know, Sneeko being another who you also know.
Yeah. So how do they feel when you say you just want to be away from any black people, walk away from them?
Well, you know what Ye told me? I'll tell you verbatim what he said. That it doesn't come from a place of, and you use the word aversion. That's the first thing I'll actually dispute.
Okay.
It's not an aversion.
Wait, was there a cut there?
I think there was a cut.
I thought my thing glitched out for a second. What do you wait? Let's go back. What do you think we?
I think in the comments, Pierce pinned like what was said. Well, what was going to be said, but they cut it out. I think.
Oh yeah. Because he says the soft A.
What's the soft A?
Oh yeah. You're right.
He says the N-word.
He says, so
N's gonna be ends or something like that.
That's funny because in his conversation with Crowder, Crowder said they'll cut out the fact if you drop the N word, and he was like, okay, well I'll do my best to avoid it.
I mean, he asked Crowder to say the N word, and then he cut it. But like, if you're gonna I've been in the YouTube game enough to know. You can just bleep that one. You could bleep that one word.
Well,
if you were really
it
concerned.
on YouTube. If it's, I mean, the context matter. Like you can get reported for it, but if you're saying it like the soft A, I don't think it matters. Like I think YouTube will just leave it up.
Yeah, but even if he's like super paranoid, you could just like bleep that one word. That's not hard in any editing software to just take the 1 second of the audio.
I know,
like
he's
so,
got this whole crew working for him, but he can't bleep.
Yeah, and it's
word.
like you're gonna cut out a chunk of it. Like there's no excuse to do that at all, in my opinion. Like that's something I can literally do in Premiere with my limited knowledge in like literally 5 minutes. So Pierce with this whole fucking team, you have to like I don't know.
To be fair, I mean the answer may have just not been worth leaving the answer in there because it kind of disproves Pierce's point. So he has a reason to take it out.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah, I think he's using the N-word, I think, as an excuse because if you actually just care, just like what they did with Crowder, they didn't do a hard cut and then a jump cut. They just they just cut the audio for like half a second. Like that's so Pierce's team has done that before, but with Nick Fuentes, we have to do a hard cut. Okay.
Verbatim what he said.
Fuck Pierce.
That it doesn't come from a place of, and you use the word aversion.
Should I get my Groiper
actually
subscription? I shouldn't say that yet because there's going to be a lot of stuff I disagree with.
On the basis of skin color, because that would seem to suggest it's like a stubborn, irrational bigotry. I don't consider myself a bigot. I consider myself a racial realist. I'm realistic about how the races are, and I speak provocatively about it. And I speak provocatively about our tribalistic instincts and tendencies as human beings. And I'm not a liberal ideologue that says that over time and with enough education, we're all going to see this great brotherhood where we're colorblind and everybody's the same. I don't think that's ever going away. I think that race is real. It's not just skin deep. It matters to us and it matters to each other. And Black people know that, and Hispanics know that, and Asians know that. And people like me that have partial Mexican ancestry, we know that too. And I think on that basis, we can have mutual respect and understanding, not aversion based on skin color.
The reason I use the word aversion is you literally said that you should walk the other way if you see Black people. That is an aversion to Black people based on their skin color.
No, that's called economy of information. That's economy of information. That's safety. And I said in the same monologue, if you watch it, it's like, I feel sorry. The problem is you clip the 10 seconds. I don't know if you watched the whole show, but in that monologue, I said, most Black people are not violent or criminals. I said, and it's unfortunate that we're going to offend them when we turn and walk the other way. I said, but the problem is we don't know. We can't tell. And someone like Irina Zarutska, she sat down in front of a Black man with her headphones in and wasn't paying attention because she was being a good liberal and said, I'm not uncomfortable by this. I'm progressive. Then she got stabbed in the neck.
I don't know about that.
They pulled up posts from her past. She's 100% like a BLM progressive supporter. She had the posters up in the back. Yeah, she 100%.
No, but I guess what I mean, like, do you think she actually was like based on the scene I saw? My best guess, obviously I don't know this, but I think she probably just like took a seat. I don't think she was like, hey, I don't want to be like racist, so I'm gonna like sit in front of this like Black guy. I think she probably just like took a seat because that guy was not acting threatening. He was not. Everything was normal until like she got, just.
People
from
were
behind.
sharing like pictures of the front of the train being like completely empty, like the front of that car, and they were like, "Dude." I don't know though. Obviously, we don't know.
I
her
agree
thought
with that
process.
because in the film, like the 3 seats that are open in front of her, I believe are open. See, the problem is. It's not.
He could have gone 3 seats up and done the same. She had headphones on. Like,
sure.
Is that it wouldn't would that have changed anything? Like, should she have like gone 4 seats ahead? Like,
well, to be fair, Confluence. I don't use public transportation, but if I would, whether you're white or Black or anybody, I would probably sit as far away from everyone because that's not the place
on public
to meet
transportation.
people.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm getting as far away from everybody as I can, if possible.
And to be fair, I'm probably facing the majority of the people that's on the card. It's just a public transportation. I'm not here to make friends. I don't know you fucking people.
I guess, yeah. I'm trying to think. Maybe I'm not. Maybe this is. I said earlier I've been, a victim too.
Yeah, Confluence will go sit right next to him.
Don't listen to me, possibly. Yeah, don't listen to me, but.
You're not the greatest
I feel like
control group for this. Like,
yeah, I'm probably not, but yeah, I just like kind of sit, and I would definitely be her. I would be sitting with my headphones on, and I'd get fucking stabbed.
Dead,
I would, and I don't. Yeah, but because he didn't. I don't in the video even before that. He doesn't seem to me like threatening or menacing. I would just be like, I'd walk in, I'd be like, okay, that's a Black guy, but. Again, unless there's something specific, I guess I'm not that Fuentes pill that I'm gonna be like, okay, this guy's Black, so therefore I'm gonna sit. Like if he's Black and as these others, then it's like okay, then maybe. But
you just assume that everybody on public transportation is probably insane
mentally
anyways.
ill.
Yeah, they're mentally unstable.
And to be honest. I'm probably mentally ill for taking public transportation as well.
If I'm on there, I'm probably, I gotta get myself in that mind. Yeah, you gotta work yourself up. You're like psyching yourself up to get on the train. Like, all right, I'm gonna be the crazy one.
Am I on a panel with y'all? Use public transportation?
No, I'm just saying if I would.
I haven't since I think university.
Not since I visited New York yet.
Yeah, but yeah, and now actually, funnily enough, my city is famous now, at least in Canada, for public transit stabbings and stuff. But not back when I used to use it. So maybe now, I would be, Fuentes coded. I'm not really sure.
Is there a larger Black population now?
No,
we have a different issue.
Yeah,
no, that's not shit a lot. No, we do have a big population of those, but they're not the ones committing a large percent of the crime. You said it earlier in chat, Anson. That's your hint. No. But Anson did say it earlier.
Basketball Americans?
Okay.
I'm not sure what you mean by that. I don't think
That's
so.
a fucking wild statement. Basketball Americans.
I don't know how to take that, honestly, so I'm not. But yeah, different group.
And I said
different
it's
group.
unfortunate that you would have to sit behind the black man to be safe. And if he's not violent or schizophrenic, he might be offended by that. I said, but I would rather offend him than die.
How many deranged white men have committed atrocious acts of murder in the last 10 years in America?
Yeah.
Proportionally far fewer.
But how
Far
many?
fewer.
How many? Do you know how many?
You have a research team. You pull it up.
I mean, you're obviously extremely exercised by that one story, which was horrific for the record. Absolutely horrific.
And all of this is just buying time while his team feeds him more shit.
Yeah, he's like,
none of this means anything. This is that. I think that's actually the most, like, that's the saddest part about this whole thing is that he lost, and it was not just Piers Morgan versus Nick Fuentes. It's not like they came live and they sat down in a room in front of each other and did like an interview and then posted it later after recording. Like, Piers has his headphone, his little earpiece in, and his whole team is back there frantically fucking typing away, fucking chat GPTing it up, dude. They're going balls to the wall, and they still lost. So it's like, it was Nick Fuentes versus Piers Morgan Uncensored and team and cohorts.
This is even the first
time.
And
he still lost.
Nick's done this too against Dean Withers. Like when they debated
that was
Aiden
sad.
Ross and Sneakers. Like he talked about immigration.
Yeah, but
and
Dean's
there buffering. Like he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, Dean is not good when somebody's actually debating him. He's avoided Andrew Wilson like the plague.
And I've been waiting for an Andrew Wilson.
Not gonna happen, dude. They worked so hard to get him. They offered him like way more money than he's even worth.
Yeah, he said I'll reimburse.
He's not gonna do it, dude. They
Well,
were straight up gonna pay him like $10,000 or $15,000 at one point.
The best thing Andrew can do is
on
find
top
someone
of covering travel and everything else. Like they really were trying to make it happen, and he just won't do it.
The best thing Andrew can do is find like a younger person of less popularity and try and get that person in the door to debate Dean Withers and just throw him through a fucking loop. The only problem is it's going to be on Dean Withers' platform, and so it's
you just can't. He spams that mute button. I mean, he's been wrecked a couple times.
He was doing that against Hayden Rodia, something I can't pronounce his last name, but this guy Hayden, he went on like a little panel before like the whole TikTok ban shutdown thing, and then, like Dean is just there like just being disrespectful as all get out, like muting them over and over again, and it's like something simple like Trump social policy being like abortion and something like being pro-life. So it's like I feel like whenever Dean or Parker has a platform, they're just gonna be as toxic as possible and not let someone speak, and it's just be a waste of time.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's why they want to get him off out from behind the camera, sit down in a chair.
Yeah, exactly. And Andrew Wilson is so good at just like semantics and breaking down an argument. Like that's why I like Andrew Wilson a lot, because he'll like, not to change the topic
you're good
here, but like he'll take the position of his opponent, and then like he'll then be in that position, and then they'll be like, well, that's wrong, but like they won't even know they're arguing against like
their
same
position.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like with Naima on what's it called, the Whatever podcast, he was like basically taking on her own worldview, being like everything's off my own preferences, and she didn't even pick it up. And then she was just bashing him when like he was being like he was taking on the point of her own worldview.
Dude, when we went to DebateCon, Jake Rattlesnake did
went there?
Jake Rattlesnake's opening. He debated a human secularist, this guy Planet Peterson or something. And Jake Rattlesnake's whole opening, he basically just took the secular humanist manifesto and he just inserted Christian nationalism instead of like human secularism. And that was his opening, and the dude was so mad. He's like, I don't think he's taking this seriously. He's like, no, he's like, I'm doing both. He's like, it's both and. He's like, I'm demonstrating to you how insane your position is. Like, I'm just telling you, I can do this too, and I'm showing to you that if it's all just preferences, if it's all just preference based, then nobody gets anywhere. He was so mad. He almost walked out. Like he was so mad. He was like, I don't know if I want to do this. He's not even taking it seriously.
He almost pulled up Matt Dillahunty.
Yeah, he was close. Yeah. It was close.
I will say, like, he did that to the libertarian Dave Smith, and like, it took Dave Smith a while to figure
Dave
that
came
out.
around though. He figured it.
He did.
He changed his views a little bit. Like,
Hey, the Zulu debate, the Zulu debate, you actually see kind of Dave shift on this to where he starts talking about those certain principles that go above libertarian principles. And I was like, oh, I like this.
Yeah.
But it was another person too. Fuck, I can't remember it now. I guess go ahead. Yeah, there was another person at the tip of my tongue that Andrew did this to, and no, Jay Dyer did that to. Who did he do that to? I'm drawing a blank. I just had it on the tip of my tongue.
The what you're talking about is the Dave Smith thing. That's the libertarian conversion over to paleo conservative, which is a pipeline that's been happening for decades.
Oh yeah,
that's
I
me.
was a
right
libertarian. I was a libertarian for probably a decade before I landed on fascism for a little while, and now I'm normal again.
Yeah.
But
well, it's just too idealistic. It's like
what
the problem with it is, yeah. The problem is like libertarians, they hold so adhere to this principle, and it's a problem with just holding random principles instead of holding like a Christian foundation. Is the fact that when people come to shake it, because humans are can be irrational creatures, every preference ideology will fall flat on its face. And the only thing that's been consistent for me is my Christian foundation, because I can appeal to something that's, I guess, greater than I am, because I'm flawed as hell.
Okay, brief chat read. Shout out to Mr. Okay, Pierce Morgan has a huge vagina too. He's crying all week about how the grippers were trolling him and how he's a thick skin, but he actually doesn't have a thick skin. He's a little bish.
Dude, right after the show, like, he went crazy on Twitter. Like, he was responding to everybody. He was quote tweeting replies on Twitter. Like, and then he had the huge, he's had like 2 or 3 like damage control streams now. He had Dr. Phil on, like, agreeing. And the irony of it all is, like, he gets some other dumbass boomer who's completely out of touch to come on and, like, circle jerk with him and, like, echo chamber with him, like, oh yeah, yeah, man, like. And I'm like, Dr. Phil, come on, dude. I like you, but dude, you have no idea what's happening here. They're like trying to psychoanalyze, like, yeah, and I thought it was great, man, that you. And he said he's a racist, but I thought it was good that you got him to admit that there was 6 million people that died in the Holocaust, and even more. I was like, oh my God, Dr. Phil, you guys, neither of you fucking gets it, dude. You're so dumb.
We'll be right back.
Okay, John Beard.
We'll be right.
I think. Correct me if you're wrong. I think you're thinking of the Sneeko Andrew Wilson, or not Andrew Wilson, Andrew Tate thing. I think that's what you're thinking of, because Sneeko and Andrew Tate went on Pierce, and then at least I think I'm thinking of the right thing. Oh no, sorry, no, Kanye.
It was Kanye,
yeah.
And Kanye and Sneeko.
That was Kanye and Sneeko, yeah. You're talking about Tim Pool. You're Kanye and Nick Fuentes went on Tim Pool, and Kanye left, so Nick just left with Kanye.
Yeah, that was shortly after they did that dinner with President
I remember
Trump.
He said, because he was like, I wanted to stay, but he's like, I had to roll with my boy, dude.
Yeah, Kanye melted down that fucking podcast.
Yeah, Kanye was being a name him, dude. He was kind of spurging. He was like, "You're not gonna name him. I'm out, dude."
The fucking name him.
And then
I'm gonna believe this is actually Anna Kasparian, okay? Even though I don't know why Anna would misspell her own first name, but I will still believe this is Anna in my chat. Anna is my spirit animal on the left, okay? So God bless you, Anna Kasparian. I love that you watch the show, okay? And just please answer my DMs, Anna, please. I've been like DMing you so much. Just like fucking answer though, okay? Don't leave me on red like that. It's not a cool time, okay?
Hey, at least
American Nacho, I was telling Confluence when we started the stream that Crowder went back on Piers Morgan's show to talk about this interview, and it's really good. Really
I saw
good.
that. I saw clips of that. I haven't watched the whole thing yet.
I mean, it's segmented up, but yeah, it was really good.
That'll be the next thing. Okay. I mean, depending how long this one. I mean, how far are we? 45 minutes. That is good for the conference show. That is fucking good. Okay. We're making great time. Okay. And yes, I know look, I can fix her. You don't have to tell me. You don't have to trigger me like that. I know she's married, brother. Okay. I found that like 2 days ago.
The gym, dude.
Yeah,
I know. I need that TRT. I understand that. Okay.
TRT, get the dose up, dude. Get the peptides in you, man.
Yeah, I gotta get the human growth hormones, all that stuff. I understand. I should just be like trend coded right now for my chances of getting with Anna. But
go start watching. Binge watching Clav. Just do whatever Clav says to do.
See, I've been Mike is Rattel coded. I don't know if it's been working for me. So. I mean, that's the thing. Yeah, you look. I mean, yeah.
Hey,
give us a flex.
Give us a flex. I'm relaxing. Okay.
I know. Give us a flex. You're muscle bound. Yeah, look at that. Yeah. That's
look,
yeah.
Dude,
there you go.
It's
that's
fine.
That's more.
I'm fat and relaxing right now. Okay, chill out.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I think.
Go get a pump, dude.
Yeah,
if I flex right now, I'm not making fun of not. To be clear, I'm saying Nacho strong. That was my point with that. That's not, brother. If I flexed, y'all would leave. Okay, so not gonna happen.
Had a string of previous offences, and it should have been picked up more, and it should have been amplified more. I completely concur with all of that. But I just suspect you have no idea how many white people have committed similar crimes. Do you?
No, because I know it's far fewer from experience.
Okay.
Because it's like you said. Well, and hang on. And I would add to that, Irina Zarutska wasn't the first one. That was also after Austin Metcalf was killed in Texas.
Sure.
After
how many times has it been perpetrated by white people?
Well, hang on. Let me finish my point.
But you're implying that white people don't do this. And my point to you, Nick Fuentes, is of course.
Oh, I never said white people don't do it.
Of course, deranged white people commit heinous acts.
Bradley,
you
give me one of these.
We're
on high alert.
You neither know nor care.
Bradley Martin's in the back room.
You only seem to be
I don't know.
Black people who commit crimes. And again,
Bradley, good to
if
see
you
you.
hadn't prefaced the whole debate about racism by openly conceding.
Bradley, you have any initial thoughts? Bradley's a channel favorite. So, Bradley, you got any initial thoughts on this? I don't know when you joined, but
I've seen this, and I do believe Pierce Brosnan. Nope, Morgan. I do believe he's. I do believe he's being trolled right now. He's
no.
Yeah, he's being trolled.
Can be.
He's definitely saying outlandish things that he knows will get under people's skin, and I don't believe wholeheartedly that he actually some of the things he says, I don't really believe that he means. I think he's just trying to troll people.
Why do people do that?
Well, I think he's trying to troll specifically that generation. I think, and I feel it too. I'm like, I'm only 32. Like, he's not that much younger than me. I despise boomers, okay? Like, I want them to be uncomfortable because they are very comfortable. They are very detached from society. They're very, I'm
a boomer.
Anson's a boomer.
Oh, fuck you, okay?
Confluence is 45, so he's close.
We'll assume.
Absolutely not.
No, we're talking about, actual boomers. We're talking about 60, 70, 80. The people, these fucking assholes that won't quit, we got Mitch McConnell and we got Nancy Pelosi and all these dinosaurs literally having strokes, on camera, doing interviews outside
for like 5 minutes
in Senate. Like, what are we talking about, dude?
Whenever I see a old person acting dumb, I think it's because they got a woke granddaughter that they don't want to disappoint, so they fucking brainwash themselves or something. I don't know.
Well, in Pierce's case, it's because he has a really young wife who runs around on him. And he's like in a Destiny situation. His wife runs around and posts on Instagram. Yeah, dude, it's been bad for Pierce after this interview. The Groypers dug it about all of it up. But that's the funny thing. It wasn't even a secret. She's posting on her Instagram account as herself, like with Suds and these other dudes, and she's talking about how she's taking a 6-month or 6-week sabbatical from her marriage. She's posting a picture of her and some guy in the bed together, and she's like, "Oh, I'm going on the Pillow Talk podcast with such and such." And she's like making all these sexual innuendos. It's bad, dude. Yeah, it's been bad. That's why Piers was like triggered after, like, for the 2 days after or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he said he's Catholic. And I'm like, what are you doing? You're in an open relationship. You won't condemn like homosexuality, and you will say that women need to be, that women should be deacons and bishops and priests. Like, what are you talking about? You don't even agree with Catholic dogma. Catholics have dogma, just like Orthodox have dogma. Like, it is a dogmatic religion. You need to believe these things, and if you don't believe these things, then you're not really part of the church. You know what I mean? Or you need to speak to a priest until you figure that shit out. Like,
you have to follow you have to follow the word of the if you want to be part of the religion, you have to follow the rules. Just like if you want to play a sport, like if you want to play baseball, you have to follow the rules. You can't just come in with a tennis racket,
Well, don't spoil too much because Confluent hasn't seen it, and I want him to.
Yeah, no spoilers.
Yeah, we got to get there, dude. We got to get there.
That's the major part.
I won't be here if we get to that point. Maybe not. I got about 13 minutes left to hear.
I just want to say, my biggest point is that Pierce is a piece of shit because his name means to stab.
Yeah.
It's
true.
I think it's like a dock that you walk off of or something.
No, Pierce means to stab.
Like a pier.
Yeah, but he's not Pierce Brosnan. This is Piers Morgan.
Yeah, whatever it is, it's Pierce.
Grammar, whatever, dude.
Pierce, you are a racist. I could read other connotations into what you've been saying. But once you've said, I'm a racist, and then you only talk about black crime.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying,
I think people can watch this and they can say,
he's the first one.
He's a racist.
We're making good time.
And everything that he says about crime is driven through the prism of being a racist who judges people according to their skin color.
I would have thought.
Well, it's funny because it's quite on the contrary. And I said this in a similar monologue. The problem is not that I wake up and I walk down the street and I see someone that doesn't look like me and it makes me angry. The problem is there's a pattern of behavior.
Yeah,
which we've all
You're
seen.
not a racist.
Blacks in America have become narcissistic, and they become narcissistic because they've been told they're victims of racism, they're victims of slavery. They've been told really there's no accountability. If they're rude, if they're inconsiderate, if they're criminal, they are told that they have no agency for their actions. They're being told, if you act in this way, it's because the white man made you that way. It's because the system's rigged against you. And so we have been telling black people this for a generation, and now there's no rules. Now they go, and what we hate to see as decent people, not even as white people, but decent people, even black people too, what we hate to see is rudeness, obnoxiousness, inconsideration, criminality, violence. And that's that pattern of behavior that we see all over social media on the
just
body
to be clear,
cam footage.
you don't like black people.
We live in a society. You want to be considerate to people around you, otherwise you live in a shitty society.
I don't like that pattern of behavior.
Is that better?
I see where this is going.
Yeah,
you're going to turn this around on me.
You're ahead of me, aren't you? Because when I said, what black friends have you got? You said,
I am kind of black, aren't I?
No, not that. I'm not saying you. I'm just saying your choice of black friend is Ye, who is arguably the number one black victimhood narcissist in America. Do you understand the problem?
All right, how about now?
He's your friend. He's one of the very few black people you want to be associated with. And he's the epitome of what you just said you abhor about narcissistic black people.
I disagree. I disagree with you, and I'll tell you why. Because Ye, if you've ever met him in real life,
I have. Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, well then he's nothing but polite, considerate.
He's like a sixth Mexican or like an eighth Mexican or something.
And he's
Well,
also
you keep interrupting me. You're very rude. Are you black?
Still need more from my mic? What the? I can't change it. I
I do
don't
want to
think.
finish my point.
Unfortunately,
I do want to finish my point about Ye. He is a guy who, when I was with him, wanted to make sure that everybody was heard. Everybody felt included. He's actually a very soft-spoken guy, very polite. And by the way, not violent. When you look at all the rappers that are in the music game, many of them, especially from Chicago, drill rap, they're talking about killing people, shooting people, they gangbang. He notably, if you know about him, he got his start because he was a nerd. He wore a backpack and a polo, and he
I think it's all the way up,
he rapped
dude.
about his feelings and girls and his dreams and his ambitions. So no,
Hello.
he would tell me all the time he doesn't even feel black.
I
because
have
it
some
makes him
issues
feel
with
not
this
black
when I use
because he doesn't do those
StreamYard.
things. Because he's soft-spoken.
I don't
because
know
he's
why it
autistic,
does that.
because he's
It like
political,
automatically
because of his
adjusts
fashion. So
inside
I
my
would disagree. He's actually not
fucking
like
system
that at
settings.
all.
Like,
But
and
we're
I don't know how to
talking about-
fix it.
He's also a Hitler-loving anti-Semite. And
It's a
here,
problem.
and we're going to
That's why I
come
like
back
him.
about and talk about anti-Semitism and your views about Jewish people, and indeed what Yair said about.
We'll
There we
be
go.
right back.
We'll figure it out eventually.
Sorry, Pierce. Skip. Fuck you, Pierce.
Okay, back with Nick for Winters. Let's
I
just
do
turn to
wrap up on my dreams and
anti-Semitism.
ambitions, okay?
In your interview with Stephen
Check
Crowder
me out
last
on
week, you answered
SoundCloud, okay?
emphatically-
Yeah, it only does this with StreamYard, and I haven't been able to figure it out.
That's your position.
It like forces my
Okay.
actual computer volume to change. Like I have it pulled up, and I can actually see it changing in real time. Like I move it up,
Let's play this clip.
the output or the volume of my microphone up to like 95 or something, and it jumps down to like 82, and then 80 goes up to 84, and then it goes back down. I don't know.
You shouldn't say the word Jewry. From an optics point of view, it's just
Well, that's what's funny is that he talks about this later on. He's like, I'm using the word that they use for themselves. At their conventions, they have big meetings.
Did the Jews talk about Jewry?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he'll
Yep.
explain it.
Barry
He'll
Weiss
explain it.
made a
Yeah.
speech at the World, and it's like the World something Global Jewry Forum or something. So it's like I was just using words. So that's what he says. That's what he says to Piers in a minute. He's like, I'm just using the words that they're using for themselves. Like, so if they call themselves that, am I not allowed to, reference it in that manner or what?
I was gonna say your hero Ben Shapiro says that compliment.
Yeah.
I've never heard
Ben has said it before.
1,000 hours of Ben. I've never heard Ben Shapiro say the word Jewry.
You're probably Jewry coded.
That's what's wrong with you. 1,000 hours of Ben Shapiro will cook anybody's brain.
Yeah,
I would like to speak directly to the jury.
I don't know, it's like when Charlie Kirk says blacks. Maybe it just like it hits my ears. Maybe I've spent too long in Canada. It just hits my ear. I'm just like, oh, just don't say blacks. It just sounds not good.
I do think blacks is like diabolical. Like it's just something like I almost feel like blacks is worse than the N-word in some cases. Like if you use it the right way, you're like, dude, all right.
I've heard somebody say we don't like to be called blacks. I'm like, you don't get. I'm not calling you black. I'm like, well, what if I call you African American? He's like, well, I'm not from Africa. Well, then what do I call you? And then he said,
Well, you can say black, but it's saying like when you say it in the plural for some reason, it just comes off weird, dude. Like
it's the hard S.
The hard S.
what if they're from Jamaica? They're not African American. If they're from Jamaica, right? Then it's stupid to call African American. It's stupid.
Well,
Then they're Jamaicans. You just call them
Black people
Jamaicans.
hit so different from blacks, though, right? Black people in America versus the blacks in America.
I call them.
it's
I call them FBAs now, dude. I like that one because I've been talking with the FBAs, the foundational Black Americans, because they distinguish themselves from.
I like that.
Look, I'm on Black Twitter, dude. I get out there and I argue with everybody, dude. I enjoy Black Twitter a lot. But the FBAs are not cool, and they're actually the FBAs are hella chill on immigration. They want to lock that shit down. They don't get along with the Africans. They want to send them all back, dude. And I'm like based, okay. And I'm talking about the migrants, like the Somalis and all that shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Nigerian ones are pretty good.
Nigerians are chill, yeah. I'll admit, Nigerians are kind of chill. But they still don't get along with the FBAs at all.
These two things, as Quippy says, these hit different. People of color or colored people, you know, they should mean the same thing. They hit different though. You know? They hit different. They hit different. I don't know why. And same with jewelry. If you say like Jewish people,
Jewelry.
word. I don't know. Jewelry.
I like it, dude.
Like if I say it too
I
many
think it's
times,
fun.
I'm gonna get demonetized or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you say it 3 times and then your bank account gets closed.
Yeah.
So
funny how that happens.
Hey, Mr. Nacho, I would say something to you.
I didn't do it.
Oh, Bradley, you sound so drunk right now.
I want to say
Mr. Nacho,
Mr. Nacho, I want to say something to you. Do you know who Lobo is?
No.
If from the Superman universe, you look like a Lobo.
Is that a bad thing?
I know who you're talking about. I think so, yeah.
Well, that's a bad thing or not, dude.
Thank you. That's all. I'm done with my drunkenness.
That was it.
Disavow.
I don't really know, but probably disavow to be safe.
We have the truth on our side.
Lobo.
That's why we're winning. Because we are telling the truth about the historical antagonism between Jews and Europeans, between Jews and Christians. The theological, historical, racial, cultural, and political antagonisms between organized Jewry and the Christians, organized Jewry and Europeans.
Oh, it's expensive.
And the reason that we are winning that argument is because it's real. It's true. I can prove it. I can show you. I can name the names. I can show you the paper trail, the money. That is why we're winning. That is why all of this is raising the consciousness.
When you say you have this opposition to world Jewry, it's one thing to criticize, for example, the Israeli government over what has been doing in Gaza. I've done that myself. When you talk about world Jewry, I presume you're talking about the 15 million Jews in the world, and you are opposed to them. How does that square with your position that you don't hate any Jews?
Well, do you take issue with my use of the term world Jewry?
Well, what do you mean by that?
Do you take issue with it? Do you have a problem with that?
Clarify what you mean by it.
Okay, I've been baited.
He almost broke.
Bring that up
because I don't like
jewelry
either.
Because I use that expression on my show all the time. I say organized Jewry, world Jewry, and do you know that for like 30 years, the World Jewish Congress has an annual keynote called the State of World Jewry? Barry Weiss has given it. You can look it up. It's on YouTube. She gives the State of World Jewry address.
It's true.
What do you mean by it?
I mean, you have to talk about, there's a concept of Jewish peoplehood. It's the sense that they are part of a common nationality, a common tribe, a common people. And so where they reside in Israel, the United States, or Europe, or elsewhere, they see each other above or maybe on a different level alongside their nationality, their their state, wherever they reside. If they're in Germany, France, the United States, they see themselves as part of a transnational nation, of an international nation. The Jews in America, the Jews in Israel.
Grok does confirm. Grok does say on multiple occasions the state of world Jewry, world Jewry beyond 2000.
Yep.
Zionist and Israeli context, analysis between world Jewry, Zionism, and the state of Israel. Okay. Yeah, that term hits. That term hits me in a certain way, but yeah, that's probably because I don't know.
No, it's because you're programmed because Jews control everything to not be able to talk.
Well, disavow.
That's actually true. Actually, everything you just said was true.
That's what I've been told. The Jews control nothing.
Everything. Media, banks.
That's a safe position to take if you want to go to Bank of America tomorrow.
My bad.
Yeah.
I was joking.
We are on. Wait, no, I guess I can't say that. I was going to say YouTube, but like a little differently, but I'm not going to say.
Identify as Israeli or American, but they also have something in common. They identify as part of a common nation, which I would say there's a world Jewish population. It's world Jewry. And world Jewry has representatives. There is such a thing as the World Jewish Congress, where they actually elect, it's democratic, all the local Jewish organizations elect representatives to represent proportionally the Jewish population in their area at the World Jewish Congress. And it's sort of like Davos. It's like the World Economic Forum, but it's exclusively for members of the Jewish nation that exists across the world. And so that's a real thing. And I didn't make that up, and that didn't come from 4chan. It's like I said in that clip, I read what they write. I read their books. I watch these speeches. I watch a speech from Barry Weiss.
Well, that's your mistake, Fuentes. If you want to be pro-Semite, you don't read the Talmud. You don't read that shit. That's what makes Nick anti-Semitic, is that he reads you shouldn't read that stuff.
Obviously.
Hang on a second. You can read anything. But what if you disagree with it? You can still disagree with it, right?
No, you have to affirm it. If anything,
you can't talk about it, and if you do read it, you should affirm it. Yes. I am nacho coded on that one. Yes.
Yep.
I would like to read things that I want to disagree with, because I would like to point out how wrong they are.
Oy vey, dude. You're sounding very antiseptic right now. Okay.
Yeah,
No,
you're edging into TOS territory, Brandon. Okay.
Oh my goodness! No, I just mean, like, if I read something and I disagree with it, you should be able to voice your opinion, right?
Okay, Brandon. You
No.
be careful what you say on that topic.
But it's not Brandon. It's Bradley.
You're losing thousands of social credit points by the second.
I hate Brandons. Brandons are fucking queers. Everyone named Brandon is a fucking queer.
No, the other guy who stops by is Brandon, and he's goaded. Okay, he's goaded.
He's gonna go to check his credit score on Credit Karma and Equifax in like 2 days, and it's gonna be deleted. He's gonna be gone, dude. It's not even.
Because I am a Hasbro agent, Bradley, and I can confirm.
Yeah, we're actually all IDF. This whole thing was organized to.
Operation Bradley, and you just fucked with him as God. You fucking bitch.
I'll just.
You fucking anti-Semitic bitch.
We're all just here to root you out.
That exists across borders on a global scale. They're organized, and they have a national self-interest as that nation, as that tribe.
So if you don't hate any Jews, what do you like about them?
I like how
I like a lot of things about him.
I like he just blows past everything that he just said.
I think that they're pretty remarkable people, and as Christians, especially as Catholics, we say they're remarkable. And this has been adjudicated in Catholic doctrine for thousands of years. We say that they're a witness people. And so we actually, there's provisions inside of Catholic doctrine that says we need to give them special protections because they were a witness to Christ's passion. So, this is why you can't clip the show. You have to watch the whole thing. I say this repeatedly in interviews. I do think they're remarkable. By definition, they're exceptional people. It's just that there is a sort of natural opposition between them and Christians because of the theology. We believe that Christ is the Messiah. They don't. They have been a minority in Christian lands for thousands of years. And
Thank you, John Beard. First super chat of the night. Name change him to Brandon. I don't know if I have the ability to do that. So Bradley, you should do me a solid and name change yourself to Brandon. Very queer coded of it. Oh wait, I can. Oh wait, I can.
No, don't do it.
That's me. Mom took the trolley to the Holly.
I mean, Brandon, $2 is $2, brother. Okay.
They've been pushed around and expelled, and they've been persecuted and segregated, and that's why there's a lot of paranoia. There's a lot of
gay name.
Distrust.
Oh, why would you?
There's maybe some sense of chauvinism among Jewish people. There is, like I said in that clip, there is an historical antagonism between these two peoples, between Christendom and Jewry, and that has always been the case in Europe. But I don't hate them, and I think I actually sort of understand them in a weird way. I think that because I've
anything for you, Brandon.
Thank you so much. I just want to give a little story. There was an occurrence where I was at work when a new employee that I knew liked to go to bosses and talk shit to asked me my name, and I told them my name. I said Bradley, and they said Brandon, and I said, "Yup,
that's me." Wait, how much does Brandon get paid first?
Yeah.
Then we'll answer
I don't know,
that.
Brandon. That seems very queer coded of you. I'm just gonna say that.
I'm sorry, but there's not a Brandon that works here, so I don't know. Is your name? What's your name? I said Bradley. You said Brandon. I'm like, yep, sure. Go on. That's all I wanted to say. You go.
Okay, hate to do this to you guys again, but
Oh, a bathroom break again? An hour and 21 minutes? God dang, Confluence.
That was the part where Nick says that he feels like a Jew too because he's been banned from 109 social platforms.
That's a good point.
Okay, this is about okay.
I'm just saying, dude.
Confluence is peeing. No 109 talk while Confluence pees. Okay. Big Soda's in charge. Second is American Nacho. Third, the wild card is Brandon. Crazy times. Which leaves Agrippa as fourth, which I don't like. Agrippa should be first. I'm just going in order of things.
I'll just tell you ahead of time. If you give me power, I'm going to abuse it.
I see how it is.
That's why you're second in charge.
All right,
and
good.
Egg has ultimate veto powers. Okay, that's Anson gets absolutely no power. Never give power to Anson. Okay, even though I made him a mod, that was a mistake. All my mods time out Anson for like eternity.
We'll combine all our mod powers and take them out.
So let's talk about how the United States picked the wrong side in World War II.
All right. You know what? I think I need a bathroom break too. Oh God.
I'd probably say they faced the wrong, probably enemy. They were too lenient to the Soviet Union.
I will say that after the war, I think it was pretty dumb to some degree for us to go so hard on Russia. I kind of understand the geopolitics. I mean, everybody's like racing for nuclear weapons and stuff like that. But, now look at how it's played out. Russia hates us, We could be
That's a good point.
We could be friendly with Russia and put the pincers on China if we ever needed to, you know what I mean? But now Russia's kind of a wild card. It's like, well, they probably will cozy up with China before they would help us out. So that kind of sucks.
From 1990 on, we kind of fucked up that whole relationship.
I wonder who's the big spoon and the small spoon in that situation.
Oh, God damn it.
Yeah, that's a good question, actually.
Your pits are stinky.
I actually took a shower already, okay? So I went and played soccer earlier, and then I showered, all right? So they're good right now.
Brandon, do you shave your own pits?
I do.
Why do I believe him, dude?
You see any hair?
I believed you. I already believed you. That's what's crazy.
Yeah,
I was expecting pepperoni.
For a bit of time, and we're having Brandon nips. What the fuck?
I was expecting salami nips though. I wasn't expecting the dots.
Next time, Ag
the
is
red
in charge.
dots.
He wouldn't let that shit slide, So that was obviously.
Yeah, I was gonna say you didn't put me in charge.
That was a mistake. That was a mistake. Okay, now it's Brandon.
Is this part free?
Jesus.
We use democracy, and it turns out democracy didn't solve our problem.
What is happening?
Oh, wait, he's doing it while you're in charge. Hey, wait a minute.
No, Ag, you own this one. You're in charge of it. Okay.
I mean, to be fair, he lets people mug him. So
Can't see my hands.
This is on you, Ag. This is any further Brandon nips is 100% on you. Okay.
No, I'm bullshit. No.
Yeah, that wasn't even paywall, dude.
I know.
That's a free. That's a free show.
You have to subscribe to the Confluence OnlyFans to see the Brandon nips, but you guys got a little pre-show, okay? But if you super chat enough, then I'll send you the secret access to the OnlyFans chat. Okay.
It's a special episode. It's John Cena's last nipple match.
Make sure you put in 20% off.
Yes.
He can't say Big Wire no more or Daily Wire no more.
Yeah, unfortunately, because of this, they've dropped me as a sponsor. But use the code 20% off the Confluence OnlyFans. OnlyFans.com/Confluence358. Always be plugging, not in the game.
That's the bathtub, by the way. Okay, everybody relax. There was still water in the bathtub. I have to let it out. I just remembered.
Do you have any Jewish friends? I do. I have many. Yes. About this. It's the best weed.
Jews and Christians have never been friends, ever. Not since Jesus Christ fought with the Pharisees. Have we ever been friends? Not since Saul was leading the charge persecuting the Christians.
Better call Saul.
Not since the Roman Empire, not since the Middle Ages. Never. We've never been friends. We've never been allies. We've always been set against each other.
This is such a defeater already. Like, and again, not like a big British fan, but like he's talking on like on a population. Right? He's not saying like a Christian's never been friends with a Jewish person.
No. He's talking about he's loosely talking about the ideologies. The ideologies conflict with each other, and they always have.
Right. He's not talking like personally, which is why he pulled this clip. Was like he asked Nick, "Do you have Jewish friends?" And then he pulls a clip about Nick talking about obviously, large swaths of people ideologically misaligned, religiously misaligned. It's just fucking.
I'm starting to think he keeps Christmas trees up 24/7, like throughout the year, because all these clips have had Christmas trees.
Yeah, or these all must be like recent clips. I feel, or just every December. I guess he's going back to.
He goes back to the Jewry.
Christians still regard Jewish people as very, religious people, and they still respect them. And I was taught, my mother is very religious, and she's very, Christian, and she taught me, no, you need to respect the Jews. They're very good people, but they're just a little just misoriented, or
look, I'm best.
Yeah, that's what I say about people who killed Jesus Christ. I say misoriented.
Yeah,
that is misoriented, but I would say, I'm a Christian Zionist. Okay.
Oh my
God.
Oh,
wait.
Fucking Christian secularist.
We got
That's
Ted Cruz over here.
Political movement.
Well, for the purposes of
surviving,
I'm being ironic, but at the same time.
Confluence. Piers is doing the thing that most liberals do. He suffers from like the delusion that you can put a gay club, a mosque, and a temple, a Jewish temple, right beside each other on the same street, and that all of those people will all get along.
And they'll fuck too.
To learn more about each other, and we'll all kumbaya together, right?
I'm sorry, Anson, are you not familiar with a completely coherent group called Queers for Palestine?
Yeah. So that's his thinking problem, right? That's the extension of why he's going down this argumentation with him right now.
I'm gonna be honest. That's like saying Christians for secularism.
Queers for Palestinian roofs,
Actually,
on that note,
and even here in the United States, communist Jews who were the architects of both communism and the civil rights laws that are dispossessing white Christians of their land and civilization.
The Jews and Christians have never been friends ever, except for
oh my God, this was the dumbest part of the whole fucking thing.
So easy as peoples, as nations.
Got it.
Nick is
not saying every individual Christian. And
oh my God!
Of course, there have been Christians and there have been Christian converts to Judaism, Jewish converts to Christian. You're nodding your head, but you're asking this. I'm saying as peoples, they've never been aligned.
As a Roman, I'm a Catholic like you, and I have many Jewish friends. I'm just trying to compute.
That explains a lot.
I'm just trying to compute, mate.
You have Jewish friends. I have Jewish friends. We're both Catholics. Therefore, we're Christians. It doesn't really quite add up.
What a fucking idiot.
As peoples, there has been an historical antagonism as peoples. And you could even say the same about blacks in the United States. Of course, there were black and white people that were friendly with each other, but in many ways, they were set against each other as groups. And I think that's easy enough to understand.
The reason that many people think you're anti-Semitic is that
we're just going to pull this comment up. I don't know what it means, but it seems like anti-Anson.
And in particular, the number of Jewish people who were murdered by.
This is my favorite part, dude.
It's been said that you believe no more than 700,000 kills, and I'm going to play you this clip.
Oh, now
people
we're
talk about what about the gas chambers? Well, to the extent that that's real, I find that hard to believe. But to the extent that's real, there have been atrocities committed and genocides committed in all times and all places.
Okay, see that, and I hasten to ask the panelists because I feel like this
Don't
topic does
ask.
move into Theo's territory. But I want to point out Nick did say he finds it hard to believe that gas chambers were a thing. Okay, so that's a key thing, right? That's not saying the numbers are a bit less. That is like that is denying. And again, I don't necessarily. I guess if you disagree, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Well, I personally want to hear it, you know. But Confluence
How many
358
Jews
on
do you think?
Discord, but maybe not now. But you know,
How many Jews do you think were killed?
I mean, I don't.
It's got to be more than 5, right? Confluence.
More than
I mean,
5.
I don't want to pull a Sneeko, but I don't disagree with the official numbers. But I don't mean that in like a dog whistly kind of way. Like I'm kind
What
of
about
like
all those shoes?
I'm not super red on it, so like
Shoes,
I'm like, okay,
lampshades, cigarettes. I mean, dude, it was bad.
Yeah, I mean, I
So,
would say 6 quadrillion.
yeah,
I think that's a safe.
6
So,
to 8
Do you
gorillion
believe, so then
easily.
I would say that you would believe in the gas shower.
Oh, I definitely do. Yeah, no. To be very clear, I definitely like that's where I leave Nick. I definitely I like if the number like I know this is I'm worried about saying this, but like could the number be 4 million? Could the number be 3 million? Sure. Not in a dog whistle way, like actually for real. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
But I do I think there were gas chambers. I think Jews were, you know,
Was there any
G-sided.
was there any people that came forward, any people on one side or both sides that said yes, there was gas chambers? That was there any survivors or people that worked there as a Nazi that said yes, there was gas chambers?
Both sides.
They also have their shoes.
And it's proven there was gas chambers that killed lots and lots of people.
Well, that's what that. I mean, I don't. Yeah, I mean,
Well.
shower. Fuck off, Doomerang.
I
I feel like I'm getting in trouble for laughing at your fucking shit.
Oh no, I'm not being funny.
No, not you, Doomerang, with this shower head fluids comment.
Oh shit. Okay. Sorry.
And his wooden door with glass window.
Whoa, relax, dude. The people who built the railway cannon, okay, definitely didn't put a wooden door on a gas chamber, okay? Chill out.
To be fair, you know what group doesn't get pointed out in that 6 million numbers? The gypsies. Nobody cares about the gypsies.
That's fair, but that's still that remains true to this day.
Has taught me that is a slur. You should say Romani people, the Romani people.
Yeah, but people wait, but even progressives don't care about gypsies, so everybody lets it slide.
I've
it's
never heard them.
That still remains true to this day. Nobody really cares about the gypsies.
Romani is true to this day. I think you meant to say. I'm a retard.
This Romanery is really getting out of hand.
Okay, I guess to get back to this, this is where I'm actually interested because I think you can say, oh, I think it's a bit less, I think it's a bit more. I don't give a shit really. I mean, some people say that age denial. I don't care about that. But Nick is saying he finds it hard to believe there were chambers filled with a non-liquid or solid state matter. And I find, I feel like that's a weird thing to say. So if Pierce is smart, he will focus solely on that part and press him on that. I would say that's my prediction.
Pierce is not smart.
No pre-watch. Okay, yeah, so it's probably a prediction, but I'm hoping. Okay, hope fluid.
Let's acknowledge why Hitler casts the long shadow. Because that confers a political benefit upon Jews. That's why. It doesn't really sound correct to me. Wait a second. It takes 1 hour to cook a batch of cookies.
Oh, it's the cookie.
And you have 15 ovens, probably in 4 different kitchens, right? Doing 24 hours a day, every day for 5 years. How long would it take you to make 6 million? I don't know. It certainly wouldn't be 5 years, right? The math doesn't seem to add up there.
Confluence, we need the math.
You think that's funny?
Get the math out.
It's funny. It's amusing what you're doing because, that one was a joke. But do you want to talk seriously about the Holocaust?
I do actually. I do because I just find it extraordinary that you would think the Holocaust could ever be something that we could joke about.
Why would you fucking retard? You fucking dumb British fucking
jokes.
cock. Holy
How many
shit.
people do you think died in the
Wait, go
Holocaust?
back.
Scroll back.
His reaction here is just too funny, man.
Yeah, I do actually. I mean, I do because I just find it extraordinary that you would think the Holocaust could ever be something that we could joke about.
Why, too soon?
Too
soon to make jokes?
How many people do you think died in the Holocaust? How many
Good to
Jewish
see you,
people?
John Beard. Thanks for stopping by.
I don't know. I'm thinking maybe 7 million. What's the number? 7, 6 million, something like that.
The overestimate. The overestimate.
Mog.
You can see that 6 million Jews died in the Holocaust.
Possibly more. Possibly, we're just talking about the country, so it could maybe even be more than that.
So why have you doubted the numbers in the past?
I'll tell you why. I really think that every death is a tragedy, however many Jewish people died in the Holocaust. And I'm not a World War II historian, so I'm actually open to believing the official narrative, and I've read some of the conspiracy theories. And to tell you the truth, it's a rigorous debate. But what's interesting about this is in many countries, it's not even legal to talk about it. And that's really where my interest in the Holocaust.
A lot of us are married, okay? I mean, not me, but like a lot of us are, okay? So
begins and sort of ends, to tell you the truth.
Not celibacy forever.
Wait, what happened?
Nick playing 40 chess right now.
In about 17 or 18 European countries. And I think that's really the more interesting conversation.
I was there.
Which is that this is almost like a religious dogma in the West. No other genocide, no other atrocity.
You're a bot, dude. Okay.
Imagine if in the United States they said the number of Palestinians killed in Gaza is 100,000, and if you don't say that, you're going to jail.
The IDF is working overtime. Get out of the bot farm, okay?
That's the part that's totally insane. And a lot of people, they can't even make up their minds. I think it's actually done a disservice. If your goal, and I'm not saying you as Piers Morgan, but if your goal, if you're an advocate for awareness about this, if your goal is to convince everybody that this is the way the Holocaust happened, I think the last thing you'd want to do is say that everyone that disagrees is in jail and is banned and you're not allowed to say it. So there's really been no open debate about the subject since scholarship started to be produced about 60 years ago.
But there is no debate to be had about the number of people.
Right.
There it is. Even the
okay, I guess this is what Nacho said, that Pierce is not smart. Like there was so much more things to push on in that clip. There's so much more things than this fucking pearl clutching. There's so many things. He literally says he finds gas chambers hard to believe. Why not just ask him about that? Just what do you think about that? That's maybe it's gonna happen, but like this like fucking the number game. Like why? That's like the weakest thing in the whole Fuentes clip.
If you notice, I don't know if this happens later, but Piers Morgan starts throwing in the F word because he wants to sound cool. Just look out for that. But I have to bid you farewell. I have drinking too much, and I'm getting out of here.
I couldn't notice that at all, Brandon.
Wow, I think he can drive.
I think you can. Oh, this is about.
Okay, yeah, that's probably a bad joke.
I think I can fly, motherfucker.
Thank you,
Please
real
don't
name
drive.
Bradley, but Brandon
Cheers.
forever. Good. Thank you for stopping by. Always good to see you, Bradley / Brandon.
Yeah, be like
Take
Confluence
care,
and don't have a
Brandon.
card.
Yeah,
I
just
get
then
some
you
love
yeah,
back. Give me some
it
love
prevents
back.
me from DWIs. Okay.
Yep,
Just
yep.
saying. You can't get a DWI in a fucking Uber. Okay.
No.
You can get one on a horse.
So I've got something I wanted to say
That's
about
bullshit.
the camps that were liberated by the Soviets. The Soviets came in and liberated one of the larger camps that were running incinerators and chambers, and the Soviet propaganda at the time was set up to make it sound like the Soviets were great saviors, and since they were the ones that found it, they were the ones that provided estimates for the numbers that were being deleted at the facility.
When
And
have
they
we ever
originally
doubted the
estimated
Soviets?
4 million, and it's since been revised down to 1.5 million. But that didn't change the estimates that were originally used for the numbers that everyone quotes now, the 6 million number. So it's actually like if you just look at the numbers where they were sourced originally, and whether or not they were changed after they were sourced originally by the obvious propaganda of the Soviet Union, like you'll come to a conclusion that's a lot different than the number that's bandied around.
Well, that even took them a while to give him that number. The first number was the Red Cross, and that was like 271,000.
I think that's fine, but that's why I think Pierce is dumb for not pushing back on that, because to me that seems like the numbers thing. It's like, yeah, I think I could be swayed on that topic, but I think the G chambers, right? I mean, I've said it a million times, but now I'm going to use TikTok language. The G chambers, I feel like that is the more perspicacious issue that for Nick to deny which is, I mean, fine. You can talk about Cyclone B and all this stuff, but like the number thing is like going to be at best an estimate, I guess, right? But like if he's denying that part, that's a more, I think there's more fruitful ground there, because obviously, yeah, the numbers, it's like, well, no one actually knows like the exact numbers, right? Like it could be less, it could be more, it could be.
They know. They know the
That's
exact
why
numbers.
Nick overestimates it, because it puts question on the official numbers, and so he's hitting it from the other angle. He's disputing the numbers, but he's doing it in a more tactful way of saying, "Well, I think it's an overestimate. I think we're still finding it out today." And that there's a little backhanded, I guess, comment saying that they change the numbers, constantly to kind of give it a more scare tactic. Not saying they do it, but
he's also just
it's a good
trolling too.
insinuation inside the.
Yeah, I don't think Nick, for his argument, I don't think Nick is doing any missteps here. I think it's just like a Pierce L for not for like focusing on like the wrong, like there's just like probably like five better things to focus on.
Typical boomer L.
Here's the thing that we can't debate. That's like, and his job is debate, right? So he's actually like contradicting his existence.
Yeah, and his show is Piers Morgan Uncensored. He's like, we cannot talk about that.
Yeah, and let's not forget that he did a hard cut for something that's uncensored. Not only did he not choose to censor words, but he did a hard cut on that thing we went over at 42-minute mark. So. Yeah, and we have the actual Brandon in the chat. I got to shout out my brother Brandon. Brandon, if you want to hop up and talk about, the H costs. I mean,
yeah, jump right in, man. We'll see you in the internment camps.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
We'll see you. We'll see you in re-education camp.
In the trials after the war, confirmed the numbers, the amount of documentation that was recovered, notwithstanding the attempts by the Nazis to destroy it, the amount of documentation that was saved and preserved and used for trials and for historical record is unprecedented in the history of mass slaughter of human beings. So we have a very clear idea of how many people were gassed to death in the gas chambers. We have a very clear idea of how many were starved to death, were kept in ghettos, died of disease, of forced labor, of death marches. We know how many Jews were slaughtered. It's at least 6 million. What's interesting to me is that you appear to now
said 7 million.
Wait, are we including disease? That seems a little bit of a stretch.
That's always what they've always included that.
I don't know. I don't know if that's wrong to include that though, because if you are putting someone in a supreme caloric deficit and then they like die of like typhus or something, then it's like,
well, typhus. The soldiers were dying of typhus.
I was
going to
say, but
more
what happens
likely
if
to
they
die of a disease, right? Because they're in like a starvation situation, right? Then it's like, I think that's
but what if they died of AIDS?
I don't think we can have this conversation on YouTube.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, my bad. I apologize.
To give an analogy with Mao, the numbers. I was in a talk with somebody, with Ivor. I mean, some of you know Ivor, Big Soda. You know Ivor. I was in a talk with him about how many people Mao was responsible for, and he's like, "Well, how many actually died of starvation?" And we're kind of like going back and forth on what that means. And it's like, I think what I would say is like, if you don't have to die necessarily from a caloric deficit to die from starvation. If you're if you're in a situation where you have a lack of micronutrients and you die from, let's say, an iron deficiency, that is still counted by like the UN. I don't like the UN, but count it as starvation. And I think it should be because you're depriving people of it. So in the same way, I think if you're putting someone in a situation where they die of a disease and you're putting in that situation where they would die of that disease.
Are we also counting AIDS into that disease category?
I don't know if many of the the camps had.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a big AIDS outbreak.
I was referencing, I guess, your Mao example.
Yeah, and what they did was morally equivalent to what the Canadians did during World War II, because they had a project during their war of not accepting prisoners and just killing everyone.
Yeah, Canadians are evil.
Yeah. And the other thing is that if you're imprisoning people in, like, let's say for example that during the war things didn't go America's way, and we have Germans and we have Japanese people in internment camps, right? And we're being invaded to the capital. Okay, we're not going to keep sending supplies to the camps to feed people because we're dying. Our capital's being overrun, and all of our supply chains are cut off. So it's some of it is not even like a whether it's intentional. It's like we couldn't send supplies if we wanted to because all of our supply chains are cut off. So are we responsible then for the deaths of intentionally Japanese and German peoples in that case? And then on top of that, with typhus and the flu killing the majority of the world population at the time, in not just Germany but across Russia and all across the fighting, all the soldiers are getting it. It's an outbreak in the Americas. So I think those are the kind of avenues that people navigate when they're having this conversation about the numbers. But I think the main point still remains is that even now, like, I'm not really comfortable having this conversation, not because I'm not comfortable about the information, but because you can't talk about it, or you're going to be fucking like destroyed, have your whole life destroyed. But there is a lot. I just say like there's a lot more to like what happened, and we're the victors write history. I'm not necessarily saying that's a bad thing. I'm not saying they were good guys. I'm just saying that there is always more to the story, I guess.
Yeah. And my point is that since the victors was Soviet Russia, Soviet communist Russia, who basically had their existence was built on lying and propaganda. I can't trust any of the facts and figures that they provided in relation to that situation.
Mm-hmm.
And so, from my position, I just don't believe anything about World War II.
Yeah, there's a lot of the water's pretty muddy when it comes to World War II. And it's funny because everybody's saying like, well, it's the most well documented. Like even peers here are saying like, oh, it's the most well documented. It's the most forged in a way too. Like we never had we didn't have the printing presses for other wars. We didn't have television and radio broadcasting and stuff like that. So, and it's the same thing. We're seeing it happen real time right now with Gaza and Palestine. We're seeing it happen real time with Russia and Ukraine. We're seeing it happen real time with Venezuela, and we want to send people into Venezuela. And all of the social media and the apps and the news and all of it is being used to manipulate people into believing a certain narrative in real time. So you can imagine at the time when they have all these other tools to reinforce whatever they want, whatever they want to be the real story, they're going to get their way.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a new enterer, the dude. The dude. What are your thoughts on this?
The dude abides. I just caught up about the last 6 minutes. Piers Morgan and Mr. Fuentes have basically set the internet ablaze, and if it wasn't for Candace Owens and her musings with Erica Kirk, I feel like this would be the main thing in the media cycle. So I'm glad to see people witnessing it. So
yeah, Candace is kind of retarded. Let's be honest.
Candace is kind of retarded.
Yeah,
Dave Chappelle said that she is the most well-spoken. Dave Chappelle referred to Candace Owens as the most well-spoken dumb bitch in history.
That's fair. That's probably fair. Yeah.
Well, I think he said he's like, I've
Dude,
never met
my
a more
favorite part.
retard.
My favorite part of this, I think, is when he asks him about Candace Owens, and he's like, "Oh, me and Candace, we're off and on, and we." The way he says it is like clearly a callback to some of the jokes he's made on his show, but it's like enough that it goes right over Pierre's head, and obviously his team didn't do enough research to even know what he's calling back to anyway. So that was kind of funny too.
My pocket of the internet's kind of related to this in a really weird adjacent way, so it's good to be here.
Oh yeah, good to have you, bud.
Yeah. And sorry I had to put you through a little test there in the back.
No, man, my pocket of YouTube is no different. We've been porn bombed, and everyone's been doxxed to high holy hell. And
okay, so yeah, you know what it's like. Okay, just I don't want to make people feel uncomfortable, but it's one of those things you just have to do. So
I used to be one of those guys.
He's such a nice liberal Canadian man.
Yeah, look, I was until I got P-bombed like 2 days ago, and now and all the muggings that I talked about before.
Such a nice white man,
I'm getting a little red pilled. Okay?
Dude, I'm gonna bring it old school, and I'm gonna porn bomb you with like magazine pornography, like just try to make it retro, a little
that vintage.
Yeah, just opening up the pages are stuck together. Hold on, I'm trying to bomb you, but I can't get the pages apart.
Oh, why is there an ad for Polo Sport men's cologne from 1999?
Hey, can you zoom in? I just want to read the articles. Like, can you zoom in a bit more?
I'm just here for the stories.
I was one of those guys who used to expose child predators online, and even our community's kind of been. I don't do it anymore because it's YouTube's the most toxic place in the history of places.
Yeah, Alex Rosen has a hard time, and I think he's doing a pretty good job.
I've done 3 catches with that guy.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, we did 3 in Central Florida.
Nice.
In the night. He's been on Matt Walsh. He's been on Tim Pool. He's been on the Hodge twin. That guy's he's making the rounds, man.
The funniest one, him and Andrew Wilson were on Alex Stein together. That was funny. Prime Stein,
the dude,
99, whatever.
Us, are you the dude? Because like we didn't do anything. Okay, we didn't do anything.
Well, he did.
I'm trying to catch a what's another word for P besides to catch a political commentator?
Yeah.
That's
to catch a politician. To catch a pundit? I don't know.
Oh, there we go. To catch a pundit. Thank you. The verbiage for a word beginning with P had escaped me momentarily.
I feel like kind of synonyms though, if you think about it,
And Piers, man, it's funny. Just when Piers starts to ingratiate, it's kind of like Jank and Anna. There was a hot minute there where they were being kind of in the vein of a Bill Maher. They were making some sense and building some bridges, and then just through the art of self-sabotage, they just can't. They can't
help it.
Okay, I'm still Anna pilled. To be clear, this is a pro Anna channel. Well, not that kind of pro Anna, but like the pro Anna Kasparian channel. Okay.
Well, pro Anna on YouTube means pro anorexic. In case you don't know.
She's not going to sleep with you.
I do know. That's why I said not that kind of pro Anna.
Okay. Are we pro Mia?
I don't know what that means. Mia
who? Bulimia. Anna and Mia is anorexic and bulimia.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. I knew the first one, not the second one.
So which side of the fence do y'all lean on?
I'm probably the most left here, even though I'm not left at all. But I'm center right.
He's Canadian, so I mean.
Yeah. So you gotta give me some slack. Also, born in America. To be clear.
Can be proven.
He's like a Steven Crowder Canadian. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm Crowder coded. But yeah, I think everyone else, right? Well, Ants definitely is. Yeah, Big Soda definitely is, and I think Nacho, you're probably more.
I'm a progressive. Yeah, I'm totally. I
feel like I don't believe that.
I'm progressively becoming
yeah.
far right.
That is a progression, I guess, if you think about it. Section 230. I've never seen you before in my chat, so I guess a new viewer. Always welcoming a new viewer into my chat. Okay, always. Back to Fuentes,
You
who looks
quibble
a
with the
little
number of Jews who died in the
angry right
Holocaust.
now.
And for the record, just to confirm what I think you told me, you do now accept that at least 6 million Jews were killed in the Holocaust.
At least.
Well, no, I said it could be. It could even be higher than
Well,
that.
it could be
I
higher. That
I
is
think
true.
it's at least.
But you
I think you're
accept
right.
at least.
It is at least.
That is such a good. I will just say, I don't agree with Nick on this issue. That's such a good answer though. Versus like the Sneeko, like I agree with the official numbers and stuff. Like the overestimate, that is a good tactic. It just is. That,
It's
I have
at
to
least
give him
6
that
million,
attaboy.
but it could be 100
Well,
times
people
more
are
than
going to
that.
be
okay. Let me respond to your. Let me respond to the
It
rest
could
of
be
your
100
question.
times more.
What you're saying. I understand where you're coming from when you say it has been documented and there are confessions and so on. Let that speak for itself. But you don't see, your show is called Piers Morgan Uncensored.
Yep.
But the United Kingdom is censored and Europe is censored. And if you talk about these things, you will be put in jail in many countries. And I think that's where a lot of people start to say, well, if the truth is so clear and if there's such overwhelming evidence, why do you need to throw people in jail for disagreeing? And you yourself said, well, there is no debate. I think everything is debatable. I think everything at least should be debated. And if the evidence is very one-sided, let the evidence speak. Don't throw people in jail. So do you think that Holocaust denial laws should be overturned?
I don't particularly agree with Holocaust.
Actually, fun
Dude,
fact. I know none of you care about
such a good
Canada,
orator too.
We have passed in the past, I think, 2 years. Canada has passed Holocaust denial bills.
Oh,
Texas did.
I'm not. Look,
Texas and a handful of other states have.
1,000 times more than the numbers. Okay.
It could be,
It could be
literally any number higher than.
How many Jews in the world? About 30 million.
It could have been all of them except Ben Shapiro, because Ben Shapiro's
Somebody had to hold it down. Yeah.
How much sponsorship back? Trying to get my Hasbro bucks back. Okay.
Yeah, we're trying to get $7,000 tonight.
Subscribe on Confluence and use promo code Ben for 10% off all gold purchases in the future. Back to this video.
Yes, you said it. That was verbatim what I was supposed to say. That's actually crazy. That was actually almost exactly what I was going to say. So thank you. Yeah.
I don't know if you know what the thing on top of my head is. It's called the yarmulke. And on the Daily Stormer, I was voted the #1 enemy of the right. So.
Yes.
What's the gold? What's the gold and silver one he always does? What is that? I don't know the name of the company.
Yeah.
That's a classic, dude.
That's what you told him to. I want you to bring me the Jew gold. What is that from? Bring me your. Was that South Park? Kyle, give me your Jew gold.
Probably.
Sounds right.
But I do accept for super chats if you want to donate those shekels. Okay, I can return to the Daily Wire. Okay, just
How
make
about
sure your super chats are.
Can we donate a pittance on a super chat?
You can in fact.
You can just send in a couple bags of coin clippings. That will suffice for your subscription.
I take all your goy bucks. Am I allowed to say that? I invented that term, so I think I should be allowed. I feel like that hasn't been said before, so I feel like that's not. I don't think that's TOS. But I'm gonna.
Dude, you gotta look up this guy. You gotta look at this guy on TikTok. His name, I think, is Kronker. He's fucking retarded, but it's so funny. He works at Walmart and he just makes videos, like goy slop videos. It's hilarious. We'll just leave it at that.
So I have a serious question. Does anyone here think that Nick Fuentes might be autistic?
No. Absolutely, yeah. He is the spectrum.
He is. Yeah, I think I don't think I'm not trying to insult him, but I think he's definitely on the spectrum for sure.
If you've noticed this, there seems to be a lack of him having the ability to connect with a single other human being past anything on the surface.
Well, I don't know though. I think that his skill set, because like a lot of autistic people, like are gifted with a skill set, and I think his is like this broadcasting orator, and I think he is the way he is like relatable. Like he's very honest and like, you know, he doesn't fucking pull any punches. So I mean, I think I see like he's not relatable in the sense of like his lifestyle and like how, you know, he's like banned from banking. He has like no friends in real life. He's like, you know, he hasn't gotten married yet. He's 26 or 27 or whatever. Those things are not very relatable, but the way some of the other things he talks about, I think are. And he's young and he understands the internet culture.
He's definitely like, again, I feel like I've said this, but I'm not trying to cover. I'm just being honest. I'm not a Fuentes fan, but I can't deny that he is charismatic. He is charismatic. I think he's good at what he does. I don't agree with a lot of what he does. And I think a lot of times he doesn't go in depth in areas I wish he would go in depth on. But in terms of attracting an audience and being charismatic, at least online, I think he's very good at that. In real life, yeah, I mean, I think he's right. He says he's a virgin. He says I think hasn't, I don't know if he's had a girlfriend. I don't, so there's like some stuff that like points in a direction, you know. Some people say it's a gay direction. I'm not saying that, although it could be. I don't know what he did with Destiny. Okay, I'm not sure.
I don't think he's gay, dude. I think that's played up. I think he's just been on the internet since he was 18. Dude, if I was on the internet my senior year of high school, dude, there would be lots of clips of me saying gay shit. All right. We were.
Well, I mean, yeah,
Look, I was on the wrestling team. I was in track. I played soccer. Okay.
Piers Morgan's wife posting
His locker rooms are
muscular,
gay as
highly
hell.
melanated men washing her car when Piers is away.
Yeah, someone else.
Oh, yeah. I was talking about that earlier.
You, Nacho? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did talk about that.
Yeah, that was a mess,
yeah,
dude.
Yeah. What about? I mean, okay, not to bring this up, but I mean, me and Big Soda, we joke about this, but you know, the trans corn, right? That Nick says that Mossad put on his phone.
Well, I've never seen that. Like, I don't.
His phone.
Is that on his? Was that on his thing? Like, I don't know. I don't really know anything about that. I hear a lot of people say that. But
yeah, it was in the same way like Alex Jones, which I have looked into that one in depth, and it was not in a gay way. I've looked into it enough to know that Alex Jones had trans corn on his phone.
That I believe though. But I mean, if you see how he acts with Blair White and shit, you're like, okay.
Yeah, but Nick did do IRL streams with Destiny. Let's not forget that. I mean, you know, and they were a good kind of power couple in a way. Like it's Destiny and Nick. It's like Destiny and John Zerka, right? You guys know John Zerka. Destiny and John Zerka is always a fun time. It will always forever be a fun time.
Yeah, but Nick, dude, Destiny would have put that shit on blast so fast. Like they hate each other, dude. He first of all, he loves drama. It doesn't matter. He does because all these leaks that come out about him, like he orchestrates most of that. Like he sends them to people that he knows are retarded. Well, brother, I'm telling you,
he's just irresponsible. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's intentional. It's like that's what I'm saying. It's a little of both, but it's like he doesn't care if it because if it gets out, then it's more content for him. Then he gets to write a manifesto and like defend himself, and like it's a win-win. So he doesn't give a shit. Like I'm telling you,
it's hard for me to imagine what level of like clout I would.
Especially right now with how
like,
huge
suck a D and be like and have a video of that like
dude
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Especially after the Charlie Kirk thing, like when Nick did a response to Charlie Kirk's thing, I think he had like 200,000 people watching it. Like Destiny is too much of a hedonist, like Coomer brain, like solipsist to not jump on that train. He would have put that shit out there, put it on blast. He would have put it everywhere and been like, "Yeah, let me get this fucking clout from this shit."
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
I'm telling you, dude. I used to be in the DGG community a little bit. Like, I was I had perms to his fucking channel. I could go in there and argue with him anytime. Like, especially as a like right winger, libertarian, whatever. Yeah, I'm telling you, dude.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm telling you. Okay. I'm not saying we were friends. I'm just saying that like I just from interacting with him enough, I guarantee you he would have fucking put that shit on blast.
Yeah, no, I haven't interacted with him, but I've watched a lot of Destiny before he went, I think, ultra insane. And yeah, so I think you probably know more than me. I always considered him to not be a leaker in that kind of way, but I guess yeah, like maybe
It's indirect. It's indirectly though.
It's indirect, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like he won't like fully leak his. Like, he's not gonna like put the shit out, but he'll like share information with totally insane, like schizoid girls that he's talking to, and then everything will just blow up, and then he'll have like a drama stream for 2 weeks or some shit.
It's hard.
He knows it'll hurt Nick more than it hurts him, so it's
Right,
kind
it's
of
a win-win
what he
for
has to
him.
lose. Yeah.
I guess it's hard for me to see what Destiny does as calculated versus like taking too much like Vyvanse, because like he has no monetization on YouTube now. Like he's completely demonetized. He's demonetized on Twitter. It's like so like that is like that's an L, right, for Destiny. Like I mean YouTube was like his biggest thing. He's already been banned from Twitch and now he has no money. That's why I think he like rarely he puts like no effort into the YouTube stuff because he makes like no money off it. So if at least some of the stuff he does feels like it just comes from a place of like
Is he demonetized on YouTube now?
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, was it the Corey Compatour that did it?
No, it was the that I think that it probably was a building thing, but it was after the Charlie Kirk stuff where he was like really saying that all cons should have the same all that stuff.
I actually got to stand honor guard at the Charlie Kirk Memorial, and do y'all know Graham Allen?
I don't think so.
He has a pretty big podcast called Dear America, probably 500,000 followers on YouTube. I got to meet South Carolina state governor and a bunch of pretty influential people from Turning Point.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm pretty white bread when it comes to politics. If you put in Chat GPT like disgruntled middle-aged white, I would kind of be what AI would create.
Fair enough.
Oh, yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, the Reddit hole sometimes leave. It's I think the truth is juicy enough when you see people just grasping it. Have you guys heard of a guy by the name of Jesse on Fire?
I've heard the name.
No.
I don't know where, but I know I've heard the name.
So
It's like
my
a
dad.
slew of- Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry. I apologize. I cut you
No,
off.
I started reading the chat.
Oh, what are we missing in the chat?
After you said that about what you're describing yourself, and then somebody in the chat was like, "So my dad."
Oh, sorry. Shane Gillis has the great. Shane Gillis's best bit was when you start reading about American history. That's called early onset republicanism.
Oh man.
When you start trading in the Louis Vuitton for like American flag and what is it? Nine line and grunt style and all that jazz everybody's always wearing.
That's funny.
Yeah, I'm just like a really big anti-woke advocate, and I don't know. MAGA seems to have.
It's
There's been
gay.
a couple of weird pivot points this year that I don't really. I mean, I still would have voted the same direction that I voted, but there's been a couple that are like really, bro, like is this what we're doing now?
Yeah, it's gonna sucks to be honest. Like I wouldn't say that I regret my vote because, like you're saying, I mean, it's what the fuck else? What choice did we actually have? The only thing is, I do wonder if we voted in Kamala Harris and let the right kind of ferment a little bit longer, if it would have been better that way. But it would have sucked. It would have sucked for 4 years. But it would have really, let the right stew. You know what I mean?
I mean, I think that might have been good. Argument. I think it's too dangerous. I mean, for the reasons I think Elon was talking about. I'm not a big Elon fan anymore after the H-1B stuff that he did, but and for other reasons too. But I think I agree with him that I think it's when he said that this could be the last election, right? And when he went on Tucker, he clarified to say like the amount of immigration, right? There's a level that you do where it's like Republicans are not going to win another election. And I don't know if how true that is, but I feel like it's at least hypothetically true, where it's like if we have 4 more years of lax border control and like the asylum process being abused, then it's like, well, where are those votes going? And then, so it's like, can we stand to take 4 years off and then hope that everyone comes to their senses, or would that be like a terrible gambit to actually do, you know?
So, what's your take on Nick Fuentes like clamoring for more whiteness in America?
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan. I'm more of a, like, I would say I'm a Western chauvinist, to use like the Gavin McGinnis kind of style of talking. Yeah, the race thing, I'm not big on that personally. I want people in America that have a cultural identity, right? And to me, I don't care. I mean, I've met Indians that are like all for America and are Christian and so I don't care really about that, right? I care more about culture, I would say.
So, what could Nick Fuentes do, in your opinion, to ingratiate himself more into the mainstream?
I think he should stop using the word jewelry, even though he can punt, even though I understand it has historical precedence, it just hits my ears in a bad way. I think it hits other people. I think he should focus less on race and more on the cultural thing, because I think that's a way, at least even from like a power level thing, which I'm not doing that, but I'm saying I think when it hits my ears, the way Fuentes talks, it does like sting a bit. And maybe I have spent too much time in Canada, but it does like hit a bit harshly. And I feel like if it hits me harshly and I'm center right, then I think people who are like center or anything left of center, it's going to hit them extremely harshly, and they're just going to cry xenophobia and racism and anti-Semitism and stuff. So I would just say to focus on culture, because I think that's what actually matters. I mean, again, like Nick, I know this, I don't want to use a Pierce talking point, but again, his last name is Fuentes, right? Like he's not like fully white, right? Like, so I think the cultural thing is the main thing, and I think that's what Nick should be hitting on way more if he wants to be, I think, more understood by more people.
What do you think his end game is? What do you think he actually wants?
I think he wants what I want. I think he just has like a very edgy way of talking sometimes. And I think it get me and the hypothetical soda, we're talking about this, that I think he's not necessarily super mature with like how he handles himself in these political spheres. And so, which I get, like he wants to be edgy, he wants to be this, but then it's hard to play both sides of being edgy and being a legitimate like political talking head, because people can then always use the edginess to kind of like try to derail you or try to like make people,
You guys would be a fun little beta test here, because I got into it with I was a comic in my previous life, like a legitimate comic. Do you think there's any plausible argument to call Charlie Kirk a racist?
No.
Why not?
Well, I guess in the same way that like we talked about earlier, that like I don't think Charlie is more racist than the average person is racist, right? Like everyone has like some bias, but when I say Charlie is more racist than the average person, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, I got into it with a bunch of my comedian friends who happen to be of color, and all I was clamoring for was, I'm like, if you can take one non-clip thing, not taken out of context, just to, let's say he was just possibly a devout racist, but he was the most careful guy ever with his social media presence. I was just curious about y'all's feelings about him as a person, like where y'all stood with. I've been a big fan. I've been a member of Turning Point for like 7 years.
Well, that's what I think. What's interesting about that, though, is that when you're saying earlier, you're like, well, I think Nick should focus less on race and blah, 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 because people will just weaponize it against him and bludgeon him over the head with those statements and stuff. Well, they're doing that to someone like Charlie Kirk anyways, as careful as he was. They're doing it to Trump. They're doing it to moderates. They're doing it to anyone who's center Right. They're doing it to white people who are liberals and progressives who advocate for those things, but maybe they just have a misspeak or they're not clear on how they want to say things, or they're doing things in a way that like somebody else is seeing as a microaggression that makes them racist. So it's like, at what point do you just say it's time to take your own side? Like it's like there's 6% of us in the global population. At what point is it okay to be like, actually, I'm fine with, whatever. I don't really give a shit. If you're going to call me that anyways, regardless of whatever my beliefs are, then I don't care anymore and I am going to take my own side.
I guess it depends on like what I guess the proportions are of like left, right, and then like center. Because so for me, 100%, I would vote Charlie Kirk for president, but I would not vote Nick Fuentes for president, even though I'm like.
What would you vote
right.
Nick Fuentes for?
I don't know, maybe some local thing, possibly. I'm not sure. Definitely not president, because again, the anti-Semitism stuff and the race realism stuff, it hits too hard, even for me. And I'm on the right, but again, I'm center right. There has to be other people. Like I hear what Nacho is saying, that like, yes, there are people that, yeah, the left side is like, celebrating Kirk's death, like especially far left, right? And like, but I don't know if that like I don't know. That's why I brought up the proportion of like I don't know what people are kind of on my side, where they kind of like think like a Wick type, where it's like Wick is like, I don't know if you know. Do you know what Wick is?
He's like he's a progressive. Are you talking about the panel guy?
Yeah, but
he's totally a progressive. He's not center at all.
Well, no, he's not. But I'm saying he entirely condemned Charlie Kirk's death and everything.
That's just a display. Camp. I don't believe most of them, to be honest.
I don't. Yeah, I've talked. I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I've talked to Wick a lot. I feel like I do believe him. I mean, I saw him when Corey was killed. I saw him.
The firefighter.
The firefighter. I saw him talk off panel with Destiny and try to bring Destiny back and try to say this, what you're doing is disgusting. I don't think that was just performative.
Yeah,
that
I
was
saw
just
that.
Random. That wasn't even on his panel. That was just like a random little conversation they had. I don't know. I mean, it could all be performative. It could be, but I think
it's not worth finding out. It's like, that's the thing. It's almost like what they were talking about earlier in the panel, where it's like, some of these people are going to be offended when you basically exclude them or you dismiss them because they maybe aren't bad, but I'm not gonna wait around and figure it out. You know what I mean? Like,
right. But I guess what I'm asking is like from a real politique point of view, like just from a purely strategy, I guess, like how many people would you estimate are like me who would vote for Charlie Kirk but would not vote for Fuentes? Even if I'm wrong in that, like what percent of the population?
If Nick Fuentes was running against Ilhan Omar or Rashida Tlaib or Gavin Newsom, who are you voting for?
Oh, easy.
Well,
yeah.
I was asking the gentleman who said that he would not vote for Nick Fuentes.
Well, yeah, but I'm comparing him to like, let's say Anna Kasparian, who was running for president.
So confluence. I think that you've got the same problem that a lot of people do, which is that if people say things that are edgy, it like makes you feel uncomfortable because
I disagree. I'm a Sam Hyde fan. I am totally fine with Edge.
No, it's fine. It's fine. You're a liberal. Charlie Kirk was a liberal too.
How many liberals like Sam Hyde? Okay, just let's be real.
Who's the moron talking right now? Who's the low IQ gentleman that's actually like emerging from the abyss right now, just trying to use hyperbole and incendiary?
I was very specific with my words, asshole.
Okay, low sperm count guy. That's cool.
Attack me to make yourself feel better and don't say anything of consequence. Please continue.
I will continue to wax poetically. In a battle of wits, you're an unarmed man.
Thank you. Tell me more about how you don't have anything substantive to say.
I'm suddenly very interested in the Anson versus the dude.
Yeah, I want to see
which
kill each other.
Keep going.
As a Canadian, you can't say that.
Can't say what?
No, I was talking to Confluence.
Well, when he says Charlie Kirk's a liberal, like that's just objectively that's a low IQ statement.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I was
I
talking
don't
to Confluence.
I don't view liberalism in the sense that modern people do. I view liberalism in the sense that he's a post-enlightenment thinker, and he thinks that hierarchies are less important than they should be. And I disagree with that. I view most people in the West as liberals, and I think that's part of the reason why our society has degraded. From my perspective, I am correct.
Are you like one of those faux alpha guys who like speaks really good behind like a crispy microphone, but like you can't do a push up? I'm kind of getting that vibe from you.
I have no idea what you're talking about. What
I've been accused of many things. Being inarticulate is not one of them. I'm pretty sure that I articulated myself fairly concisely and precisely.
I don't know what a pro alpha guy is. Like,
I said faux, F-A-U-X, faux.
Okay, now I understand you. Like I still a faux alpha guy. I don't know if I am a faux alpha guy or not. I've never heard that term before.
Would you say that you hold what one might consider to be athletic prowess?
No, not
okay. That's the vibe I'm getting from you. That's
I'm a little soft now. I haven't always been. I got divorced a couple of years ago and stopped working out afterwards, and it's actually something that bothers me a whole lot. I'll probably remedy soon.
I hope that you do, sincerely. Like internet beef aside, I do hope that you get that. That just seems to be there's a certain type of person that I talk many times on the right, and it's in the vein of that coffee and cars guy. I forget the guy's name, the bald guy who was getting cucked. What was his name?
Which
You
one?
remember him, like the fake alpha men driving cars, the bald guy.
Jack
you know
Murphy.
Who I'm talking about. I'd be
Jack
lying
Murphy.
if I said I knew.
Jack Murphy was the guy who went on Tim Pool all the time, and he had like the gray strip in his beard or whatever.
Yeah, bald guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the same guy, but he also is one of them.
The bald guy with a beard thing on the right now is just kind of getting overplayed. I feel like if you have a beard and no hair and wear a flannel shirt and you're not a lumberjack, that's stolen valor.
That's fair.
Okay. Yep.
No, just so when you say Charlie Kirk's like someone like Nick Fuentes, I meet some really far right people who will, when they start calling other people liberals, I'm like, the right is just absolutely cannibalizing.
I mean, I don't even necessarily disagree with what he's saying, though. Like in terms of like what an actual right wing position is, like, or what a conservative should be or originally was, like from a Christian nationalist position. Yeah, Charlie Kirk is espousing some or holding still some, liberalism. Holding to some liberalism. I don't know if I would call. I don't know if I would call him a liberal though. Like,
can someone give me a for instance how Charlie Kirk's a liberal?
We mean just a clarification, and maybe Anson, you see these things as the same thing, but like, we mean like the classical liberalism of like Jordan Peterson, or do we mean like
earlier than
like
that?
No,
Enlightenment thinking, post-enlightenment thinking.
I mean, like the 1800s liberals, the founding fathers.
Okay, yeah, I guess I don't see that as like a bad word. I guess, I mean, maybe that's because you would say. I guess I'm a liberal, maybe. But
I do, right? Because from my worldview, like liberalism is destructive, right? Because it basically turns into rampant individualism like we have now, and that's why all of the social problems that we have today exist.
Yeah, but you're also founding. Ultimately, you're founding aren't you like you're founding everything in the state though, right? Like you don't have you're an atheist, right? Don't you have like? So you would be placing the state at the center of everything, which is also just as equally retarded. So.
No, I'm a Greek ethicist. I place nature above everything else.
Oh, I thought you were like a tanky or something. Maybe I didn't.
I don't know what that is.
Okay. Maybe I didn't.
Here's a quick little pivot point. Why does Japan get to be a highly nationalistic society and they get a pass?
Yeah,
who's their minister of propaganda or their like public PR department? We need to find whoever's been like running Japan for the last 30 years and just hire that fucking guy.
That's true.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Japan is like what, like 97% or something.
97% Japanese.
Yeah. So no one complains about.
Well, they were trying. They were getting a little weird. I think the new prime minister, if I'm right, is gonna nip some of that shit in the bud. But I think they were starting to try to they were considering importing.
I thought you were about to say they were getting disoriented, and I was going to say that's a very off-color comment. Hey.
They were gonna import the third world to try to fix their birth rates, though, and I'm like, please God, don't do it.
Well, who else has an ethno state? Does Denmark and Sweden and Iceland, are those pretty much ethno states?
I thought Denmark has recently done a lot of immigration. I think I could be wrong, but
does it need to be intentional?
I'm intentional or not. Let's take a look at the effect of it. Whenever, and I'm a comic and I'm a sports commentator for a living. Like politics for me is just kind of like I'm well read enough to be dangerous, but not enough to be fall victim to the Dunning-Kruger effect. Like I know enough to know how much I don't know. I look at countries, and when someone tries to compare the United States, 370, 380 odd million people, culturally diversified, the country's only 250 years old in its current manifestation, and they start comparing it to an ethno state that's 10 centuries old and population of 17 million, and it's homogenous. Me as an outsider, a neophyte, my sophomoric understanding, as the guy who called me an asshole, I'll call myself sophomoric. I have a hard time seeing why we get such a bad rap.
For wanting to fix our demographics, or for I don't know, what do you mean?
Well, I mean, why do they all get a pass? There's why are they allowed to be an ethno state, even if they have a liberal government? And I know enough about Denmark and Finland's tax system, how it's highly social. I know the broad strokes. Don't ask me a single political leader or any policies. I just know that most things are government subsidized and socialist, from their medicine to their college system to their housing. Why do they get and here's the other thing I just look at is, England and France were pretty vocal in their anti-Islamic sentiment with the immigration crisis, and I don't feel that either of those two countries got a tenth of the backlashes we're getting right now in Minneapolis. I'm just looking at the double standards.
I mean, if you wanted an actual good example, then you would just look at Israel. To be honest, if we're looking for the best example,
I'm talking about real countries.
Oh, okay.
That was a joke.
I agree. As long as we recognize them.
You almost triggered me.
But I mean, their immigration is as strict as you could possibly be. The land ownership. I mean, the restrictions they have on becoming a citizenship in the first place. I mean, they're going to be knocking at your door the day that your 6 weeks visa expires, or whatever it is, 6-day visa, whatever. They're making sure you're getting your ass out. There is no illegal immigration. There's walls around the fucking country with barbed wire and manned guards and drones and the best technology and and I mean, they're doing DNA testing to make sure that you have a right to be there or whatever. So it's I mean, why don't they get any shit? So, and I mean, maybe they're getting shit now on TikTok, but historically
do you know
they haven't.
That Jews are one of the only religions in the world that try to tell people that they should not become a Jew?
That's true. Same with them and the Baha'i. I feel are the main non
Islam
religions.
Islam, all you have to do is just say, "Hey, I'm Islamic," and it's okay, cool. Your name is Ali Akbar Shabazz Da now. They'll take anybody.
You just have to say that thing, right? The thing they trick people into saying sometimes.
Yes, that's and the Jews. So the Jooz, right? Everyone now. I never knew that Jews was a bad word, but now apparently Jews is a bad word. And again, it's I'm an outsider. This is kind of y'all's domain of competence, so I'm swimming in deep waters here.
I don't know about competence, but
your domain of in Jewish waters, brother.
Okay? Yeah,
the waters of Jewry, if you will.
Give them credit. They are some of the world leaders in desalination. I think our people in Michigan and Minneapolis could probably use a hand from the Jews.
That's true. Where did Gaza get all their water from? Okay, desalination plants in Israel. Just saying.
Yeah, and then we've got fucking 5 Great Lakes up there, and people in Michigan are still drinking fucking death water.
Yeah,
that is a problem.
I think we should just put fucking Shane Gillis, Andrew Schultz, Theo Vaughn, and Cat Williams in office right now, and let's just watch the world burn, but like have a good time watching it burn.
I'm here for it. Yeah, I mean,
That's
your
I would love
terms
Theo
are
Vaughn to give like
acceptable.
a State of the Union address.
Yeah. Look, guys, this shit's fucked up.
Yeah, and some of the thing that's losing me on the right is like some like the academic right is just really painful to listen to sometimes. You know, just the
like
the
fucking
academic.
James Lindsay.
Yeah, that's a great example.
And even Jordan Peterson has got a little retarded. I don't know what happened to him. He's just crying all the time.
He's got
all the drugs.
I just found out JBP was in the ICU for like 3 months and just got released like recently. So the man is in,
Yeah, I mean, I pray for him. Like I don't hate him, but it's
no joke. I'm not sure why you're talking about me when I'm not there to defend myself. And bloody hell, it's no joke. I'm dead serious, bucko.
And it's like,
Look, I paid to see Jordan Peterson live, okay, and I will treasure that moment, okay.
I will. I mean, I have 12.
He's an elitist.
12
fellas.
rules
like,
to life or
that's
whatever.
what the right's missing. He had a genuine heart for people to find some sort of happiness or meaning in it. Like he was an elitist. I don't think there was ever a political opinion on him. He just saw what the liberal. I say this. And this is a me original. I said if a conservative falls in a hole, he or she will do whatever they can to try to crawl out. If a liberal falls in a hole, instead they just decorate. And I really appreciate Dr. JBP's musings and just his guidance for we're a country where men are just not men anymore.
Yeah.
So actually, so many JBP fans.
Say again.
I'm glad to see that we got so many JBP fans because I was a huge fan of him.
I mean, if you listen to the first 5 years of his stuff, it was he was teaching guys how to reconnect with their, the disgruntled relationship with their fathers, and how to try to be a life partner to somebody and to not fall down the rabbit hole of YouPorn and Pornhub and all he was trying to do was give lost men like a path to productivity and some semblance of happiness. Like that, I don't think he ever had any ambition to. All of his courses were for free on YouTube before he got famous. Like, he was his whole thing got famous. What was that bill in Canada called? C-17?
C-16.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, degenerate.
He's like, I'm not going to use your bloody pronouns. I'm not going to do it.
I'm not going to do it, eh?
That's
big fan of his maps and meaning theories that he had.
And then, I wouldn't call him a grifter, but the guy dedicated 55 years of his life to educating others, probably without having any real money. And, he had a window of opportunity. And I think most people would seize upon it if they could. And, he was,
they turned him out, dude. They turned him out. As soon as I saw that picture of of Jordan Peterson like shaking Netanyahu's hand and Ben Shapiro in the fucking background, I'm like, dude, we're fucked, dude. We're so cooked, dude.
See,
it's over, dude.
Jordan Peterson and Ben Shapiro. See, but maybe to this comment, people.
Ben Shapiro fucking hates you. Okay.
Tip got snipped. Okay, my tip already be snipped. Okay. Just
Yeah, but you didn't have a weird guy with a fucking. You didn't have a weird guy with a yarmulke.
With an X-Acto blade. That's how much money the Daily Wire used to be paying me, and now
did
they just taught me.
Did somebody suck you off after that, or
that was my question. I was about to reference. I was about to reference the Moyle. Who stole my thunder on the Moyle reference?
What do they call it? Mapitza Bapet.
The Briss. The Moyle does the.
Well, yeah, but there's a name for the ritual. It's like Matitza Bapet or something like that. Fucking weird.
The Sukadapine?
Sukadapine, yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Hebrew.
That's the Bronx, slang for it.
That's the Hebrew way. Get it? Yeah, the Jews.
This, JBP
yeah, true.
In psychology and religion, I really enjoyed. When he moves outside of that, it's a bit ultra.
Well, religion too. I just don't. I don't like hearing him talk about religion. It's the same way that You know, especially in the setting, especially in the setting.
Like me.
No, dude, in the setting too of like at the Daily Wire where they're all and they have like 3 Jews and like 4 random like 2 guys who are like agnostic and like some other, and then Jordan Peterson and somebody else who's like a Protestant Christian. And they're like talking about the Bible and they're interpreting everything and they're like getting it, and it's just like none of you are even like none of you even believe this shit. Like what are we doing here?
Unless you have Dennis Prager at the table. Okay?
Fucking Dennis.
Hey,
dude.
Prager, you put out some good stuff over
He
the last
did.
decade.
He did. Yeah.
Adam Carolla was kind of given a political platform with. I feel like I just made a certain level of success on your channel. The former KGB chief called me a dumb fuck, so now I feel like I'm truly part of the gang.
Oh damn!
Oh yeah.
Nice. The Dennis thing that turned me off was when he had that interview and they were talking about shit. I can't remember what the guy said, but he basically was like, if you could give people like pedophiles like AI generated child pornography or something like that, you know, or something, is that like unethical or something, or does that go against your moral ethic or something? And he was just like, no, that's fine. And I was like, okay, yeah, we're not the same, dude. Like, we're not. Sorry,
See,
nope.
I didn't even hear it that much. I heard the whatever interview it was where he said he was like pro pornography in general, and I was like,
yeah, that too, yeah.
Well,
I think that was the same interview.
Oh, I'm glad I stopped watching it.
Yeah, I'm just like
it got worse.
So you guys actually now you just dipped a toe into my field, like being a
pornography.
Oh
well,
no,
that's I got known on YouTube for hunting and exposing child predators and child pornography distributors. That's how I found it. That's how I made a platform on YouTube. And that AI thing was a big topic of debate, and my stance was very seldom does like a violent sexual assault, sexual assailant, you know, start with the act. It usually starts with pornography and then stalking, peeping Tom, then flat, and it never ends. Like there's no,
well,
you know, the end game is always the ultimate crime. Like that's
and you probably know about that big the sting operation they did in, I think it was in the UK, but they've had another one, I think stateside too, where part of the way that you got into these big groups or whatever was that you had to provide some unique content. So you had to do something. You had to go out and peep on somebody, or you had to like harm your child, or take, you know, upload pictures of your own children or something. Like you had to have some skin in the game, like in order to be a part of this.
Well, if you guys
access
really
this larger catalog.
If you want to truly be horrified,
it's bad.
Look up case law and look at the criteria that some of these images and these videos have to actually constitute what would be called child pornography. Like they set the standards so high. They actually have a rule, like if you have pictures of children, like for every one of a little kid in a bikini, there have to be 2 or 3 regular ones to. That's a rabbit hole. It's another conversation for another day. But I mean, it is a. If you actually read it, it is twisted how many things you can get away with that they don't call it CSAM, which stands for child sexually abusive material. That's the political term for.
You could just say the acronym. I feel we're saying too many.
Yeah, this whole fucking stream is getting nuked, dude. We're cooked after this.
Are we not allowed to talk about these? Is this not?
We can't,
actually, no.
Say essay. See, like try to use the most TikTok.
Yeah, specifically around those terms. Specifically around those terms, yeah, YouTube hates it, even though it's not like TOS. It'll shadow ban the fuck out of you.
Actually, this is a relevant question from my faithful subscriber, Testicular Johnson. Did you report them to police, or did you do vigilante justice and fuck up the investigations?
What investigations? That's the problem. No, I'm being like facetious. Sorry, I'm not the answer for you, but I hate like seeing these kind of like comments, or like I get that people are frustrated that there's like a group of people doing this, but the fucking law enforcement is not doing it. They don't give a fuck. They don't.
No,
I
but
mean,
you
like,
should, if you discovered that someone had CSAM, right, you would still report them, right? That is like due diligence.
Unfortunately, that's the only thing now that they can really. So there used to be it was child luring with the use of an internet device, lewd and lascivious, like the distribution of material. So to answer the question, yes and no. I was one of the earliest ones that was doing this. So back in the day, law enforcement was not involved with anybody really. Even Chris Hansen's first season, law enforcement was not involved. It wasn't until season 2 of TCAP. So later on, yes, I've worked with Florida State Police, South Carolina State Police, North Carolina State Police, but with what I would say is minimal levels of success. The DA in Asheville, North Carolina, just decided that they're like, we're not taking any cases from, internet investigators. They didn't want to touch it. So I had to find a local jurisdiction up there where the police chief would actually press charges. But really, it ultimately falls in the DA. It's not really up to the police department. It's up to the DA.
So this is now my question, I guess, because like, so you would know more about this than me, but like the whole TCAP thing, from what I've heard, it's like, even when they had LE involved, it's like almost none of those convictions stuck, and like most of them were like ended up being bungled, and like very few actual, even though they had all the tech stuff and all this, for some reason or another, like none of them worked. So like it just kind of, so I like watching TCAP. I think it's fun to watch. Was it effective at like stopping? I mean, there's people that have been on TCAP that were on multiple times. Like the same guy showed up like again.
Wasn't the
There's one guy on TCAP that was on twice, and he was the one that showed up naked, and then Chris Hansen called him up the next day to go to McDonald's. And he's like, I was just here to get something to eat.
So like,
I'm pretty sure.
Is that effective? Is that, and I guess, is it effective? And would you blame it on TCAP, or do you blame it on law enforcement?
So I'll answer this question shortly. As much as law enforcement doesn't want to work with anybody, these are tough cases to prosecute. The people that are going to do it 2 or 3 times, those are the worst of the worst. But with Chris Hansen and Alex Rosen, all these different groups, I guarantee you that there have been thousands and thousands of guys that would have talked to a 13, 14, 15-year-old on Instagram, Tinder, Bumble, whatever it may be, who's like, yeah, I'm not going to do it. I think that we've thwarted. I think that it's been a net positive.
And even still, like, further than that, the other good thing is that it's putting these people in front of the camera, in front of the public, the court of public opinion. So even if the state wants to be a piece of shit and not investigate it, at the very least, maybe this guy's face is out there and people that know him or whoever, you know what I mean? Maybe he can't fucking go anywhere. He maybe has to move fucking towns 3 times over. I mean, and that's the way it should be. I mean, to some degree, this is when I like hate the state for how ineffective it can be at times. It's like, it's pretty clear what we're supposed to do with these people. You know, even in the Bible, it says in the red letter text that, you know, anyone who would lead these little ones astray should have millstones tied about them and dropped in the deepest part of the ocean.
Then they dropped to sea, then any harm be brought to God's little ones.
So, I mean, there's only one way to deal with this. So, but anyways.
I will not specify.
Well, I think that TV show y'all are talking about, that TCAP show, wasn't the last episode like the perfect example of how to deal with it?
Exactly.
Oh yeah, someone ended up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was an assistant.
That's actually the best case scenario.
Yep. It was he like an assistant district attorney or something like that, or a circuit court judge?
Yeah, there was.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
He was huge. He was a huge target. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he decided not to go to the meet. So Chris, because the crime's committed when the adult asks to meet, like that's the set to meet is the crime. Actually showing up is there's no extra crime for being there in person. So when he didn't show up, Chris and the NBC crew went to his home.
Yep.
And that's where the guy, he was examining some Civil War relics and had an unfortunate mistake on purpose that ended in a long-term nap. Did I phrase that? Did I navigate that well?
Yeah.
You navigated that perfectly. Now this is
Okay.
this is a bit of a side question, but something I've always been curious about with TCAP because so the actresses are above the age. So what crime are they getting the people on? Because then like the guy is talking to someone who's pretending to be a minor but isn't actually a minor. So like what? How does that legally work?
So
I've always been confused on that.
I'll tell you that the decoy that they met, the predators never had an image of the actual decoy. The images were always of children, typically of the production crew when they were 13, 14, 15. And then that's, if you ever remember on the show, they're like, oh, you look different than your pictures, was like normally the first thing every predator ever said.
But then what's the crime? What's the specific crime? Because they're not soliciting a minor. They're soliciting someone who's pretending to be a minor.
Well, that's what I'm saying is that there's no crime by being there in person. The crime was to set up the meet and show up. The crime happened.
Set up the meet with someone who, like, if Anson, let's say me and Anson are DMing, and Anson's like, I'm 13, but he's Anson, so he's not. Is that in itself like what's the crime? What is the crime there?
It's a
I think that's the problem.
Is that why is that why none of these convictions hold? Because there's not. Because I feel like it can't be soliciting because Anson's not a minor. So it's like, is it your intent to solicit a minor, or like what? How does that legally parse?
It's illegal to do that. If you think that you're doing it, then that's the crime.
Is that true? I mean, that is true. What is the actual?
That is accurate.
I mean, it's like setting up a drug buy. I mean, there's a lady who was who's convicted of hiring a hitman to kill her husband, and the whole time it was an agent. It was like a fake thing.
Yeah, I guess as soon as that's true. That's
so like they weren't actually a hitman, but they were posing as a hitman, and she went all the way through. Yeah, she went all the way through with it.
Like that.
I guess. So maybe that's probably why they involved law enforcement. I guess because I guess that makes sense. Once law, because I guess if I tried to sell fake cocaine to Anson, then I probably couldn't. There's probably no case there. But I guess if I was a cop and I tried to sell fake cocaine to Anson, then probably he's going to jail. I'm guessing.
Yeah, well,
something
I
like
don't
that.
Do drugs, but that's.
So there's your nightly lesson on how to corral immoral adults. You guys have me so nervous now to say any words. I'm tripping over my feet.
Well, I don't think he's on TikTok. I think he's just trying to be.
It's just there is, no, I know
friendly.
YouTube does. I mean, as Section 230 says, they do flag, unfortunately.
For those groups, it gets weird,
The dude, have you heard about?
That's why people don't make content about this on YouTube anymore.
Roblox, so here's the funny thing. Some of the places, and I've done a few interviews on bigger podcasts and radio shows. How old are you guys? Just for context.
I'm 30.
32.
Mid 30s, mid to young 30s, to be clear. Okay.
45.
Okay.
He's 45.
Okay, I'm in the middle of all of you guys. I'm not 45 and I'm not 35. When we were kids, it was it was a guy in a windowless white van. So you only had like a 5 mile. It was a 5 mile radius where these guys had to, go out and actually, predate. That's the verb for the word predator. They had to go out and now with the internet, they like Roblox is a big one. Facebook, Instagram, Kick, believe it or not, is one of the biggest places that they find people. Whisper, if you're familiar with Whisper.
Wait, Kick like the streaming thing, or Kick like KIK?
KIK.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely believe that one.
Yeah, they had lots of. So is the Kick streaming not affiliated with the Kick Messenger app?
Yeah, totally different things.
Different,
oh, okay, good. It was funny because some of the pred catchers actually went on Kick, and I'm like, that's weird. We're using the same platform that we catch people. I didn't. I'm a bit of a boomer.
Yeah, I had that app when I was a kid, like when I was in school or whatever, like, and then I learned about some of this stuff later, like as an adult, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess I got to delete this shit. I don't even want it on my phone, like.
Yeah, I feel like I've only heard about kick as in KIK in a negative context. Like probably 99% of the times it's brought up. It's in like
yeah, we just had like a group. We used it like Discord. We have a bunch of gamers at the school, and we all had a group together. And then like we graduate and all this shit starts coming out, and we're like, all right, sorry guys, we're deleting the group.
I mean, I watched a video that Discord is a big thing now for the same thing. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I don't know if you know about this. But
No, that's kind of that's a moot point. That Telegram's the big one. So everyone now is going after the CP distribution people. That seems to be the new. When I was doing the pred catching back in the day, it was still kind of new. So people just, the voyeur and all of us wanted to see these evil people be brought to justice. And now, Alex Rosen's probably caught 600, 700 of them. CPP, Colorado guy is caught. Tommy's caught probably 600. We've seen this happen thousands and thousands of times, and we've gotten desensitized where now they're trying to, like JDon and Vitaly, they're trying to sensationalize this content. And I never made money on it. Like I never monetized.
Is it Vitaly is like filmed like beating a woman, right?
No, he didn't film it. He
right now.
He is, yeah. No, he didn't. They didn't film that, but he is on body camera because he like was tripping mushrooms and he like fucking attacked some lady in South Florida or some shit.
Okay,
crazy.
And Bonnie Blue's in prison in Bali, so moment of silence for.
Yeah, but aren't they fucking letting her go? Didn't they say they were gonna just deport her?
Yeah,
it's such bullshit.
But
I mean, they can keep her.
The last thing I heard about that was that basically they're gonna deport her. They're gonna deport her in like 7 to 12 days or some shit like that.
If you guys want to see somebody who's a really interesting supporter of our movement, have you ever heard of somebody named Jeffree Star?
Yes, but I don't know.
Jeffree Star. I don't know if they're trans. It's a dude who dresses like a lady, but he, she, they are like
with Shane Dawson. Yeah.
They are. This person is like the most anti-woke, anti-PDF file person on the internet. So Jeffree Star is definitely a friend to the movement. So is Blair White. And Milo Yiannopoulos for that matter. We've had a lot of like really. Big J Okerson went on a catch with someone that I know. If you know him, the comedian from Legion of Skanks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Big J Okerson went out with DAP. That's Dads Against Predators. That's Josh and Jay from Ohio. Like my pocket of the internet was like it was funny. It was really small until about 3 years ago. No one even knew that this corner of the internet existed. And then that EDP guy got caught, and every fucking psycho from YouTube found our corner of the internet.
Now, can you fill me in on the EDP situation?
Has no one ever heard of EDP 440?
I have.
Oh,
yeah.
I
haven't.
He was a Philadelphia Eagles fanatic. He was a big, heavyset guy. I don't know, maybe 390 pounds. And he went to meet a 13 or 14-year-old fan, and he's like, "Oh, I was just coming to get a cupcake."
He's just coming to get cupcakes, man.
He was probably making 40, 50 grand a month on social media. And he actually wound up getting caught a second time by Gideon and Skeeter Dean. So that Gideon's channel is actually called EDP Watch. So that was the one, and that was done by Alex Rosen and a guy named Ghost CC Unit. They got him together, and that was I'd say that was like the first viral predator exposure. Like that, everybody in the world knew who EDP was for 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah, he was the closest thing to a celebrity that anyone's ever caught.
Yeah, I knew about that one, and I didn't. But I like from it got to me because of just how viral it was. Like I didn't actually know who EDP was, even though I guess he was pretty popular on his own.
I didn't know who he was, but he was the first. He probably had 2 million subscribers.
Yeah,
he was.
I think that's why it went so viral, because all of his fans saw it and picked it up because they're like, "What the fuck." And then it just
this guy Jay, whose name he had a channel called PP Mass. He caught a police chief, and I want to say it was Stowe, Massachusetts. Alex Rosen has caught I want to say like a Homeland Security guy or something. There's been a couple of like fairly high profile people that have been.
Well, if you want to,
sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if you want to be black pilled on all this, you start to realize that the reason why it seems like they don't go so hard on the prosecution is because they're all fucking a party to it. There was a case in North Korea, or not North Korea, South Korea, where they're like the nth room or something like that. This lady, Peach something, did a video on it, like a documentary, like a mini documentary on
What
the
does
nth
black pill
room.
mean?
Oh, I've seen this.
It's like hopeless, dude. Like basically,
red pilled.
they caught this whole
optimism.
they caught this whole gang of like, I mean, these people were doing some of the most heinous shit. I can't really talk. You just need to go watch the video. But there were like 250,000 members in this Telegram. Like, it was crazy. And they were like live streaming shit, and they were like, you know, abusing people and like kidnapping people and torturing them and shit. Like, it was crazy. And they all get caught, and then the whole thing basically gets swept under the rug, because the only way to get in was to like, you had to like dox yourself immediately just to even get in, and then to get in past a certain level, you had to like contribute somehow, like you had to make your own stuff and upload it. You had to share something, and just to get in, so like the guy who's running it has every member's username and a picture of their ID and a picture of like themselves like exposed, and like that was like requirements just to even get in. And so they were able to catch this guy with his device unlocked, so they could get in there, and they have access to all that stuff. So they have everybody. They know who everybody is, because those were the requirements to get in. And basically they only prosecuted like, I don't know, like I don't even, like a couple hundred people or something like that. Maybe 1,000 people at this point. But it's really depressing, because you're like, dude, they should get everybody. But it turns out there were like huge celebrities, there were politicians, there were, big time government officials who were running different programs and stuff, and it was just honestly a little depressing. Because I'm like, well, if that's the case for there, then that's probably what's happening here. They go to investigate this shit. They find out such and such is on the registrar, and they're like, well, I guess we're not going to do that, or I guess we need to like lower the penalties for this crime, because I don't want to face such harsh punishment if I get caught, kind of deal.
I think that is happening here, and I'll punt to the dude on this one, but I'm sure that he's probably familiar with like the Lux
stuff
and Peter Scully stuff, which was kind of what you're describing, Nacho, where it's like, to get into the worst of the worst, you have to like provide authentic stuff, and you're basically, it's kind of like a Samson protocol thing of mutually assured destruction, where it's like, yeah, to expose one person, you're exposing all of them. And the guy Lux, who was like the leader of one of these like Tor forum things, he was prosecuted, and then some certain people were prosecuted, but like very few of the actual user base were actually, because of just, I think it just involves like too many people. Like,
yeah, and I guess they were like, logistically, like, what would we do with now 251,000 fucking pedophiles or whatever? Which I guess
put them in a wood chipper.
I know, that's what I say. Yeah, I mean, put them to work for the state. Send them back to North Korea, dude. I mean, hell, dude.
And let them fight versus the Somalis. We'll call it Alien versus Predator.
Yeah, classic.
Just publish their addresses.
Yeah, I mean, let the people deal with them. I mean, but like there were all kind of rumors that started floating around, because they were like big like K-pop stars basically, or whatever, that were like these big rapper guys in South Korea that were like coming out, because the case was national coverage. It was, everybody in South Korea knew what was happening, and so then people were like, well, and they're coming out with like a defensive stance. Well, what if some people were like in the thing, but they didn't really like participate, or they were like, maybe they didn't really know what they were getting. And it's like, dude, You had to participate. You knew what you were getting, and you had to send a picture of your license and your ding dong, dude. Like, yeah, you knew exactly what you were doing. You didn't join the group on accident. You didn't have access to that stuff on accident. Like, what are we talking about here? You're guilty, dude. So that was kind of shitty. It was
well, make sure you give some of those channels like Alex Rosen and CPP and the guy actually got stabbed today or yesterday. His name's Nick Sally. He was a prid catcher from New York, and he got stabbed in the line of exposing a bad guy. And we had a guy named Jay from DAP who got shot in the middle of exposing a pred. Alex Rosen got arrested and sent to jail on one of his predator exposures. That whole movement is really under fire right now, which is weird. It used to be a unifier, like pedophile PDF files were the one thing that could bring the Ku Klux Klan and the Wu-Tang Clan together, and we can't even agree on that anymore.
Okay, so I'm gonna end things soon, but I wanted to get your thoughts on this and anyone else's thoughts, I guess. I feel like from those legitimate investigations or the vigilante stuff, right? We have seen it spark a bunch of like fake things. Because I've seen a bunch of videos where it's not actual. It's like everyone's an actor in it, and it's like this is just bullshit at this point, and it becomes just like a cinema thing. So like how do you think people should parse between a legitimate person and someone who's just like paying people to show up because it's good content, and it's, oh, we caught this guy in a hotel, but it's like the girl's an actor and the guy's an actor and everyone's just like fucking around. Like, how do you think that is a destructive effect? Well, I think you would, but how do we separate those things, and what do you think of
how much money would it take you to pretend
to the fake?
How much money would it take you to pretend to be one of those guys? Like, I can't imagine.
I think there's a lot of people really down bad that will do a lot of stuff for like $500. Like people that are like people that are addicted, people that are like homeless. I think absolutely. I think you'd be surprised, or maybe you wouldn't be, about what people will do for as fucking
So
says $50. Pay me.
On YouTube's terms of service now, you have to have police show up on presence. So I think it's pretty easy to separate the real from the false. How often do you guys do this? Go live? I randomly found Joel's channel tonight.
Oh, I go live literally every day, maybe an unhealthy amount, but every day at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Literally every day. Yeah. So anytime you, American Nacho too, you're the two people that you're first timers here. So anytime you guys want to pop in, just saying, always welcome.
Bro, Nacho looks like Super Mario came out the closet and joined CrossFit, man. I'm digging your whole vibe, bro.
my son saw on a juice box that he got from like, I don't know, Chick-fil-A Happy Meal or something, and it was like the Super Mario 1 or something. And he looked at the juice box. My wife sent me the video, and he's like, Dada with a hat. And it's like, I was like, damn it.
Well, I'm glad that I found your guys' channel. The conversation was predominantly productive. I'm sorry that I ruined it with all my inappropriate phraseology.
No, you're good. And one thing that to know about my channel, it always starts off in one direction, and at a certain point, it dives completely.
You should change the name of the show to "And We Digress."
I usually will change it. Yeah, usually after I'll have this, because I'll like start one video and then someone will join. It'll end up in a completely different thing. So sometimes I'll edit the title to suggest that. But I kind of love that it like starts normal and then whatever direction it goes. I'm all about the chaos. So yeah.
Well, you got a new subscriber in me. So Nacho.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, I only go live like once a week. It's like Wednesday and Saturday.
Yeah, Nacho's the big fish here. Nacho, if you want to like plug your stuff, I mean, if you want,
I'm just
you
a guy,
maybe
dude.
gain 5 subs if you plugged your think of the 5
yeah,
subs.
Yeah, dude. Nah, I don't stream as much anymore. So I'm kind of getting back into it though. So that's what Andrew was trying to do, is putting me onto the Tim Pool thing. So that was kind of chill. But yeah, towards like the middle of this next year, I think I'll definitely be like back to a regular schedule though. have a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, so it's like
It's tough.
Yeah, dude. Got a lot going on.
I just subscribed to Nacho, and I just subscribed to the Confluence.
Appreciate it, man.
Great.
Just be careful. That Confluence, he's a Canadian. He's a little shisty.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Well, look, Norm Macdonald was Canadian. That's all you need to know.
That's
Yeah, there you go. There's been some good.
There's been like
To be
3.
clear,
Oh, what?
from
Norm was
Wisconsin.
Canadian,
From
wasn't he? Damn.
Wisconsin.
He was from Quebec City. Yeah.
And I'm from Wisconsin, so I got a one up on that. I'm just saying. I've just spent a
Well,
little bit.
take your
a little
squeaky
too long.
cheese. Take your squeaky cheese and go fuck yourself, fellas.
Have a good night, bud.
Later.
Good night, y'all.
Yeah. Everyone take care. I'm gonna end it. And thank you, Nacho, for stopping by. I mean, I don't want to like fanboy too much, but once you mentioned the erudite thing, I watched that full episode, and so appreciate having you on.
That was a good time, man.
That was yeah. I mean, I will stand a bit too much for Kyla as well. I will say that I'm not a fan, but when she's debating someone, it's a fun watch. It's a fun watch. What can I say?
Yeah, and she's hot.
Yeah.
Anson, you can fix her. Actually, you can. And actually, Anson, before I end it, when I mentioned the Canadian serial killer, I forgot to pull us up. Anson was like, "Is she single?" And I was like, "Oh, Anson, no, please." That's the one line. Bonnie Blue, fine. If you want to try to fix her, not the serial killers,
no.
okay? Please, God, not the serial killers. Anson, it's impossible.
Yeah, don't be fixing Canadian.
True, Lester.
But yeah, okay. 07s to y'all. Thank you, Anson. Thank you, Big Soda. Thank you, Nacho.
Have a good night.
You guys take care.
Well, that was chill, dude. Not necessarily what I planned on doing. I was actually trying to play some video games, but kind of chill. And that's probably it, to be honest. Holy cow, having my camera. Oh, no, it's fixed. So that was it. I mean, we didn't finish. Thanks, Alessa. Yeah, so we didn't finish the debate again, dude. Not that I tried to do it myself and do a review, but I couldn't make it all the way through. It was just too much yapping, dude. I couldn't stop myself. And then we did it again tonight because there's a bunch of people on. But I was gonna play video games, and then I saw that, and I was like, let me just go kind of panel crash or panel hop a little bit. There was an invasion. I was gonna do some of the. I was gonna do like some invasion, the Andrew Wilson invasion sniping, but whatever. We just kind of roll with the punches. So, but I'm gonna go to bed too. Pretty chill. Thanks for stopping by. Sorry you missed most of it, but it'll be on YouTube. We'll catch you later, dude. Thanks for stopping in. It was good to see you again. Yeah, we're doing Wednesday and Saturday. I'm trying to make sure I'm doing Wednesday and Saturday. Probably 9:30 both days. 9:30 definitely Wednesday. Like at the latest, definitely I'll be on by 9:30. And then Saturdays, it's just kind of like winging it a little bit. I might do an afternoon stream. I might do a night stream, but I'll just be I'll try to post about it on Twitter, and I'm trying to make sure I post it in the Discord and stuff. So graduated, so I might be streaming more myself. Nice. Well, I wouldn't. Well, depending on what did you graduate? Did you graduate college or did you graduate? You're not that young. You had to be college, I guess. Yeah. I don't remember now. Okay, good. I was gonna say, look, if you're going into college, just hide your power level, okay? Don't even worry about getting into politics or anything really at all. Probably, honestly, if you're still going into the job market. Maybe you are, yeah. I'm 32. I never know, dude. I can't keep track of everybody, dude. Some guys were pretty young. I was in politics until I was doxxed. Yeah, see, I mean, this shit happens, so. Damn, what did you do? Fuck have you been doing? A doctorate? Crazy. One year older, dude. Yeah, that's crazy. Self-paid through school, so it's taking me time. Yeah. Kind of crazy, though. Kind of crazy. That's pretty impressive, though. You paid your way through, though. That's good. Now you're not going to have fucking 60 years of student loan debts to pay off, so. Yeah, that's crazy. Well, I hope it pays off, dude. Hope you picked a good degree, something that makes you some money. All right. Well, I'm going to get off of here, dude. It's good to see you, man. RN. Oh, that's not bad. I mean, that's chill. Just don't expect any of the women to settle down, okay? Nurses are a problem, okay? It's a serious problem. They have the highest rates of their hollows that come from strippers. What? The medical field since 2013. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do at a school for a little while, was go into nursing, so feel that. But now I manage an auto repair shop, so I mean it's totally not the same. But I mean, I guess still kind of helping people based. So. All right, seriously, I gotta get off here. Appreciate you stopping by, man. Catch you definitely Wednesday, if not randomly.